We're ready. You send it live. Dane's late.
Dane's late to his
He's
own
the one that's
show.
left.
All right, I'm just going to do the intro, the hello, and welcome to the Rad Company Podcast. We are the Rad Company Podcast. This is Levi Gates.
Hey, what's up?
Next to me is Morgan McMurray.
Hey guys.
And I am Dane Hennon.
No, you're not. You're not Dane.
You're right, guys. This is Anthony. I'm trying to be Dane.
And remember, folks, this is the Q&A, the live Thursday Q&A. In case you forgot what day it is, it's not the main show. This
Not
is
to be
us
confused
here
with the main show
or the
Detox
Detox
Cast, where we have somebody from the industry or adjacent industry in for the podcast. Oh,
Hey,
my
guys, what's
gosh.
going on? It's Thursday. It's your favorite time, 3 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. We got folks from all over the world tuning in to hang out with us. Let's start our, it's kind of like a fun thing. What I like about the Q&A Thursday, it's kind of like the start of the weekend. It's like the start
It
of
is.
kickoff of Friday for some
It
of
is
us.
the Friday kickoff,
You
and
know?
it's already like you're holding up your arms, presenting a goal for me.
Right.
And
yeah.
you're like,
I'm gonna hit that piece of paper
And it's
between
gonna
the goal
hit me in the
posts.
face,
Yep.
and I'm going to say, try again, Levi.
And I'm
going
gonna
to
try and aim it one more time with a little more force.
It's going to hit this, going to hit
and
Morgan,
direction.
and then you're going to say, dang, well, Friday's can't come soon enough.
At least it's getting here.
Yeah.
So.
Anyways, guys, so welcome to the Q&A. We're happy to have you on board here. Dane is
First things I have
somewhere.
to say is I already drank one of these of water.
Yeah.
That's
And I'm
water?
halfway through
What?
this of
that
water.
doesn't look like water.
It's just a yellow flavored water.
Okay, so that looks like urine.
It's
is what
not.
that-
I guarantee you it's not.
It's
And just to
sterile,
prove it-
and I like the taste.
Just to prove it.
Dane!
Look, I'm going to change the colors.
Whoa! Everybody, wow.
Everybody's excited. Dane's back. He's ready to rock and
That
roll.
was so unnecessary.
So look,
The
now it's
yelling?
not. Now look at that
No.
magic. It's a different color now.
Okay.
So here's the deal.
Looks like a urinary tract infection.
Here's the problem. I've been drinking a lot of water because that's
Kidding me?
to
Are you
honestly.
kidding
conversation
me?
have I
Honestly,
walked
that's
into?
one of the things that is part of the Master of Shine solution pack, weight loss
Is
solution
colored
package.
water.
It's colored water,
Okay.
and the amount of water I've been drinking.
Yeah.
So
So I see it's not Diet Pepsi, which is where we need to start.
I'm still drinking Diet Pepsi. I drink one of these of Diet Pepsi every morning,
Yeah.
and then I chase it with water. So I'm
What does your doctor say about that?
I'm drinking water. That's all that
His
matters.
doctor's name is Pepper.
So I think one big thing that
So anyway, I'm just drinking a lot of water is what I'm saying, but I
No.
may have to step out to use the facilities because of the copious amounts of liquid I've imbibed.
I remember that
Yeah.
when
so.
me and Anthony tried to drink a gallon of water.
so what
I've drank a gallon of water today.
You really think?
No, I'm
I
sure.
don't know about that. What this
Pretty
Q&A
sure I
has
did.
been missing the official drink of the Rad Company podcast, which is
We have been out of
Brew.
Iron Brew.
Yeah.
We've been out. I've been trying to stop by every day
Yeah.
to the facility that is the only place in Idaho that's distributing Iron Brew
Yeah.
or selling it to the public. They've been out as well.
Wow.
So
You ran him out, didn't you?
We
This is-
Well, they
possibly
probably
did.
never ordered it except
This
like
is
once
a-
a
It's just like
year.
there's
And
one guy who
It
comes
wasn't
in.
me. It was us.
Well, yeah, it was
You
a
guys were
collective.
drinking it as
us.
well.
Dry spells what this
Yes,
is.
yeah. So, so for our friends in Scotland, if you could ship some Iron Brew
Yes.
this way, just in time for the holidays, we'd appreciate it.
Yeah.
Uh,
The
might
new
help.
unchanged version.
Yeah, the new unchanged version tastes like 1903.
Yeah.
It tastes
Old
exactly the
recipe.
same. The new old recipe.
Yeah.
Also, they have a 24-pack Advent calendar out now, just in time for Christmas.
Wow.
It's a 24-pack with the numbers written on it,
Yeah.
and you can hang the whole 24-pack on your wall, and then pull open
Is
the
it
can
full
out.
size?
Yeah, they're 12-ounce cans of Iron Brew.
Oh,
But it's a fun Advent calendar. Great game for the kids.
great for the kids.
You know, normally it's a small one with
Piece
like
of chocolate,
little
and
chocolates
we're just really
or little
amping that
things.
up.
This is a full 12-ounce, full sugar
Yeah.
Very
Iron Brew.
health
Um,
conscious.
hanging on the wall.
Love
You just got to
that.
make sure you got a good stud to drill into, and or get some proper sheetrock anchors.
Does it come with the drywall screws?
Probably not. I wouldn't recommend drywall screws. I'd actually recommend lag bolts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, lead.
Again, this is a lot of weight.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Speaking of lag bolts, Dane Hennon, you had to install a massive television
What?
That was
on
one
a
hell of
random
segue,
wall.
sir.
On a what size lag bolts did you put into your wall? to hold your 75-inch television.
Fun fact: I kept the
I love
exact
that you had to
same
go-
setup that
Oh,
held my
Lord.
old TV,
No, you
and
did
that one
not.
was an oversized one for that TV.
I call
so
BS.
it works perfectly on this.
Call
it's a
BS.
150-pound weight limit on it,
Wow.
and that TV I just put up there weighs less than 80 pounds. So
Well,
Wow,
that
so
is,
you're
uh,
using
shocking.
3/4 of the limit of the weight. So
yeah, but
best
think of
case
it-
scenario would be you'd want to be about a quarter of your capacity.
Okay, but this
Um,
is like when they do weight ratings on trucks and stuff. What the limit they give you is the safe limit. If you're below
Right.
that, you're very safe.
Yeah.
If you're above that, you're towing the line. You're testing things,
So,
but at the same time, you're still.
so
gonna
question.
Be
So
all
you
right in
mounted a
most
larger
scenarios.
TV on the wall, took the 55-inch off, put the 75-inch up. I know from experience
Mm-hmm.
myself. I also bought a very large, oversized wall mount to put
Yeah.
on my wall in
Yeah.
my theater
Mm-hmm.
at the MOS HQ. Part of the amenities package, the MOS HQ
Yeah.
carries as well.
Generous.
Yeah.
yes.
One of the things though was the size of the lag bolts that I had to install into my studs.
Yeah.
Very large and enough to hold the
Trying to
weight.
Remember what size
When
mine
I
were.
put them in, I put the TV on, and the bracket, the unit, could not support the weight of my television.
Yeah.
So I had to take it out, return it, and go heavier duty by buying
Question.
on Amazon.
Question. So obviously the bolts you
So
put
that's
into the studs
the
are
only
very
thing.
important.
Yeah, I actually went into the studs.
But I'm curious. So you weren't doing like a swivel mount or anything,
No,
were you? Mine's
no.
just a flat wall.
Mine's
mount
just a flat
with
wall
the
mount. It's like
arms
a
that-
French clamp. French
yeah,
cleat.
and it does that thing where you can like pull the little strings underneath to loosen it to kind of do like
Yeah, similar to our
maintenance
SEMA
mode.
setup.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
uh-huh.
that's the only thing I'm worried about with yours because I saw it's precariously placed directly over a seat. At,
Oh,
the
nobody ever
Dane
sits
Hennon
in that
house.
except the
Hold.
dog.
Okay.
So
Just-
you're
So
you're
screw
gonna
Callie.
sacrifice
Callie
Callie.
might get sacrificed to your large TV one day.
No,
All
I
right.
did some tests, and what I did,
Did you
was
guys hang from it, you and Liz?
part of
Don't say it,
Part-
Anthony. Don't
don't-
say it, Anthony.
part
Some
of
weight
the thing
tests, some
with the-
stress testing. You guys
Say
grabbed
it,
onto it,
Anthony,
and
please.
just hung yourselves.
with the TV, I mounted it
Did some
low
pull-ups?
as I could on the actual arms on the back, so that most of the weight is on the low
It's
end of
already
the arms,
on the ground.
rather than torquing it from above, where it causes
Okay,
that
all right.
cantilever kind
Yeah,
of thing. So
mhm.
I tried to keep the weight
Okay.
lower. So the
Yeah.
whole thing is just very. It's in a best case
You're
scenario.
gonna let gravity do the work for you, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean it's gonna hold itself just fine.
Man.
All right.
Yeah.
So unless something
Well, congrats on the
crazy
new
happens, or
TV.
there's an earthquake.
Did you rewatch all your Mandalorian episodes, and were they better on the new
I
TV
did,
than on the old one?
and much to my horror, immediately when I turned on the TV and started playing the episode, it had that smooth motion. I went, "Oh my god, not again!" And then I started looking through the settings, and I'm like, "Every TV has this.
And
What's
you
this one's special
adjusted
name?"
them?
This is an LG. It's a 75
Yeah,
inch.
that's
They had
it.
it at Walmart for
In case
under
you're wondering,
$700.
it's called a Levi Gates.
So what I found was their particular brand of the smooth motion is called True Motion, and I said turn that ish off. So I went and I found it in the settings.
Yeah.
I turned it off. I
Turn
changed
that
the
true
other
motion
settings.
ish.
Yes. So True Motion off. Get rid
Okay.
of it. Garbage.
yep.
Hate that stuff. So once
Wow.
that was off, I had my beautiful frame rate, my beautiful refresh rate. Everything
Oh. Delicious.
played just the way it should. Mandalorian looked fantastic.
Perfect.
And I liked
Good.
the second
And I'm glad.
episode a lot better than I liked
Yeah.
the first
Good
episode.
episode.
The first episode was good. I have no issues
My
with
favorite.
it. But the second episode, that I don't want to spoil anything, but man, that thing was cute.
Yeah,
wasn't
my
it?
favorite was when he ate that whole frog.
Yeah, that
It
was
was the cutest
adorable.
thing ever.
So,
I haven't
Absolute
seen,
cutest
I haven't
thing.
seen
That's
it yet.
adorable.
Oh, gotta
so
watch the second
please don't
episode.
ruin it for
any
me.
rate, I
Good
don't want to
stuff.
ruin anything, but
It's
yes,
already
it was
ruined for
very
you.
much. You
already
get that Star
told
Wars
you.
feeling in the old school way, and I love
Much
it.
better, right?
I like it a
Okay,
lot.
good, good.
Also,
So,
I
now
saw
that's
Ford
fixed.
v Ferrari twice this weekend.
3
because
times,
I
right?
loved it. No, twice.
Okay.
I loved it so much. I saw it twice.
Yeah.
Wow.
I just can't believe that Christian Bale was actually a race car driver.
I know. He goes method in all his stuff.
That is, that is something to really.
He literally became Ken Miles.
And Matt Damon seemed to not resemble the Matt Damon that was in
Well, he had to
all
play Carroll
of
Shelby.
his. Yeah, see, I liked him more in the Jason Bourne movies.
Mm-hmm.
Very much less
didn't like a
Jason
Bourne.
Bourne.
Why
Pudgy
would
Southernman.
you? Why would you expect him as playing Carroll Shelby to look anything like Jason Bourne, other than the fact that he has a similar face?
Why wouldn't he, Dane? Jason Bourne is pretty much ready for anything in life. and
Carol
Shelby
was absolute badass, but at the same time, he still had a doughier face and stuff. Like,
I
that's
don't
part of
think
the-
if you were to have Jason Bourne and Carol Shelby fight each other,
So Dane, did you ever
okay,
watch?
It's not even a contest.
Adam Carolla's
24-hour war.
Mm-hmm. 24-hour war. Good.
Yep.
Good.
That's good.
Glad to hear that.
Yeah, I watched that a couple years ago. Really
Yeah.
good.
All right,
Anyway,
guys.
okay,
So,
So-
we are way off base, but
That's
let's
all
start
right, but we
answering
had
some
to catch up
questions.
because Dane's
Yeah.
been gone. He missed out on the main
I
show. Dane, we're glad to have you back. We're
and
glad
I
that
barely
you're
have
feeling
my
better.
voice right now,
That's
but
all right.
I'm gonna try and like
Good
pace
news
it
is,
through
I
the
think
whole
we
thing.
have some fisherman friends over there for
Good,
Dane
okay.
here
Well,
to
it'll
make his way
taste
through.
really good mixed with your warm vanilla.
Yeah,
That
that's
is- that is cold.
protein shakes are not
Is it?
something that you want to drink.
This is on going into the bed of the truck,
That's
and I'm going to
disgusting.
just
oh, jeez.
push over.
At any
to
rate, why don't we start
All right.
answering some questions?
All
There we
right.
go.
The nice
Starting
folks
at the
home.
top, Dan Pfeiffer, big word up from Minneapolis. Thanks for hosting the Q&A TRC. Can we get a Dane car ownership update for the week? I heard it was at 8. Rough life. Must be really rough.
There's the Jag, there's the Volvo wagon, there's a Sport Track, and there's the C-Max.
So nothing on the Volvo.
No, actually, I have somebody coming to look at the Volvo
Hey!
this week.
all right.
Oh.
Well, we'll
And-
see what happens.
We'll see
Killer.
what happens.
We'll
We'll
see
see.
you
Yeah.
on the other side. Playa, another week, another Q&A. Hello, boys and girls from Hans and Wreck Handle. Feeling a little junk manish today. Hello, boys and girls.
I was to say,
Hans Anthony, how many times can you wring out a towel before it stops absorbing water?
evil laugh.
Too many times to find out.
Yeah. It's like the licks to a
It-
center of a Tootsie Roll pop.
Yeah,
It's
and
like the
I told
Energizer
Morgan
Bunny.
that I don't
Keeps
even mess
going.
with that. I just bite into it.
That was a
Oh.
weird thing that we
Super
found out about you. That was
uncomfortable.
odd.
Yeah, there was like
You
soap
just
in it
don't-
and everything.
Yeah.
What?
No, that's Dane.
Oh.
Rectangle says, "Will you guys be having a Black Friday sale?" Absolutely. You can definitely
Yeah.
look forward to
Yep.
something like
We've
that.
been working on all the stuff that we're going to be giving away and selling.
Yeah, here we go. And then we got Hans Closing says, Dane started spamming the groups. Gotta mean it's almost Q&A time.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you can always count on Dane.
If I don't do it, you guys don't show up. So I got to make
No.
sure you guys
Okay,
show
don't
up.
say that.
Oh, no,
Dane.
I'm straight up telling them. Like,
Okay.
they rely on that.
So we got Bait Addict saying,
man.
Sup Baiters Anonymous. I love this group
good.
that we've created.
Sup Baiters Anonymous.
Safe
hate that.
for all
I don't enjoy
baiters
that.
every day. So you guys going to tell your fam about the Black Friday sales a little early.
Hmm.
Also, I have to say the Optimum Ultra Clay Mitt is pretty aggressive. Notice it mars the finish of vehicles more than the Nanoskin Fine
Sounds
Pad.
like he's using a lot of pressure.
Not a big
Yeah,
deal, just my
immediately
experience, but
pressure
I
comes to
still
mind.
love it.
Yeah, I think he's using too much
Yeah.
pressure.
In most of
So-
those videos we have where, say,
Yeah.
Ivan's using the claymate, he's just got his
I'm
hand
two
gliding on the
fingering that
surface.
thing.
Like, there is
I'm
no
barely
pressure.
using any pressure. I'm letting the pad do the work.
Yeah.
So if you're pushing a little too hard, yeah, you're gonna mar. But that's
Well,
with any pad.
Even
What's
fine
interesting is that so you like the mitt. I like the towel personally,
Mhm.
right? And so I know you like the mitt because of the surface area.
Yeah.
I like the towel because I can fold it, right?
Yeah,
it's
you
still
get a
a
little
foldable
thicker.
thing. I can get a little thicker and kind of remove the tension from my fingers and kind of have that disperse more evenly. But I find that towel is almost it. In my opinion, he's saying it's too aggressive. I'm saying that maybe it's not aggressive enough sometimes. But it's
Right.
that perfect level of safety because of that fine grade clay that allows you to still remove your daily imperfections, your daily contaminants. But when it gets to the really deep, hard stuff, I'll typically just run to a chemical removal at that
Yeah,
point. You know,
yeah.
doing a tar and glue remover or something of that sort.
Wow.
I like it. Luke Berge, hey y'all, don't think I'm going to be able to make it to today's Q&A, but figured I'd say hi. My day is awesome so far, detailing my truck and my dad's car and testing some products for a local care company. Okay.
Nice.
Care.
Oh, and I'll be
Care
flying to
Bears.
visit a friend in a couple weeks. I haven't flown since I was 9 years old
What?
and never by myself. Any tips? I'll be flying Southwest if that means anything. Luke, make sure that you download the Southwest app on your phone. One, if that plane, you are going to be, as for what I've heard, you're flying across the country. Sometimes, we both know this,
Yeah.
all of us know this
Yeah.
now, the planes may or may not have screens on them.
Mm.
Anthony and I
Yeah.
flew back from Vegas this past week, a couple weeks ago, or about a week and a half ago,
Mhm.
and the plane we were on from Southwest to Vegas to Boise. No television screen.
Same.
Yeah.
Same for
Right.
me.
So, Luke, you either have an iPad or like a Kindle or something. Download some
Download
movies
your
for yourself
games.
or your games or whatever. You can check out the All Day Anthony Travel Solution Entertainment Package. Available at
Includes a Switch.
alldayanthony.com, which
Includes
is
a
a
Switch,
Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
The Master of Shine Travel Solution Package for entertainment is primarily just a Amazon Fire 10 that I save Netflix, Prime,
Yeah.
all that stuff. I just download videos and watch
Yeah.
movies that way. But if you download the app on your phone prior to getting on the plane, you can then utilize that to watch movies and stuff.
Yeah, the
on
Wi-Fi
through
on the
their-
plane is not free, but the Wi-Fi through
Well, on
that
Southwest,
app is
yes,
free.
yes.
So
Yeah, the
that's
Wi-Fi through the app
trick.
is that way, and you
Yeah.
could watch all the movies and stuff that they have.
One thing I'd recommend
they'll
is
help.
that probably during that flight you'll have a couple different I guess flight attendants come by with some drinks and
Be
things
nice
like
to
that.
them.
Be nice to them.
They are your friend.
They
Let them
will
know it's your first time
most
flying. Yeah,
likely
in 10
be
years.
serving out pretzels or something like that. Southwest is kind of
Not that good. Well,
yeah.
the pretzels are actually horrible.
Southwest as an airline is good, but you
They
get
don't have
very,
any
very
salt.
few amenities.
So what I like to do, so one of my favorite things, so a part of the All Day Anthony Travel Solution package that I like to follow so closely because I enjoy his stuff,
Yeah.
is that I also like to follow his snack regimen.
Oh,
So
He does a very dedicated
bag,
snack regimen.
a bag of
Always snacking.
sour Haribo gummy bears, are one of his favorites, and then a bag of Gardettos. So you have the sweet and savory
He seems to know a
to
lot.
get you
You know
through
about
that
him.
flight, which is nice.
Kind of weird.
I personally try to avoid chocolates on long flights or flights in general just because I'm minorly lactose intolerant,
Right.
and it's not worth the risk for me. So I
Yeah.
try to stay away from dairy and focus
One
more
thing
on
that
gummies.
one thing I like to abstain from prior to a
Yeah.
flight are overly spicy foods
Mm-hmm.
or peppers, sausages, chorizos, things of that nature before I get on a plane, because we are getting locked into a tube for a
Yeah.
long flight like that.
Tube.
Same way Anthony abstains from lactose for that same
5
reason.
hours of recycled farts.
Yeah. Anthony and I
Okay.
are try our hardest not to. So if we go, say, to a sandwich shop
Yeah.
to have a sandwich, I like a good just turkey and cheese.
Yep.
I don't
Uh,
even go with the cheese. I go
something
turkey,
simple.
let's, tomato,
Right.
maybe a little
do a
mustard.
BLT or something.
Very simple, light, easy, knowing that my stomach's not gonna... Dane, what do you like to get when we travel at a
You know,
sandwich shop?
I'm adventurous everywhere I go.
Dane likes to live on the tip of a sword, as we like to say.
And let me just say, editing mode has carried me through it all.
Dane tests
Dane
the
almost
limits.
threw up on me one time.
Dane tests the limits of editing mode every time we get on a plane.
That was the
It
one.
happened.
That was the one time, and I'm so sorry it happened on that particular occasion where I dry heaved because I was so like sleep deprived and everything was wrong in my head and my stomach. That coming back from the East Coast, I was sick as a dog, and it was not good.
When I look over and
not
Dane,
And he knows he's traveled with me many times. I don't get like that. Like that was unfortunate for Morgan the first time traveling with us, and she's next to me, and I'm just like,
She's like, all you've had is coffee and a donut this morning.
No,
Dane's
so
like,
it was like 20 ounces of coffee is what he had. But I love it because he's sitting in the middle of us, and
I'm
I
just
see him,
trying
and
to-
I see him go like this. He goes, and I'm like, no. If you do it, aim
and
towards
you see-
Morgan.
You see my eyes darting around trying to find the bag.
Yeah.
I've never in my entire life of flying. I don't get motion sick flying any of that stuff.
Yeah.
That was new to me. I've never had that, and I felt so bad.
yeah, it was.
I
I
first
was
so
asleep,
sorry.
and I would have
Yeah.
woken up not in a happy
So you have to
place.
remember, right? Everybody joked around about the whole thing about Dane eating Slim Jims on the East Coast Adventures and all of
Yeah,
that.
no,
But, like,
Dane didn't.
but
You're
they- but-
aisle,
but
she's window.
Our
I always get
friends
the
and
middle
fans
seat.
brought us Slim Jims. So do you think we just didn't eat those? Absolutely not. We
Yeah,
ate those. So Dane had a couple Slim Jims, and then you would drink 20 ounces of that coffee before the flight.
Yeah, they got venties.
It was
Remember
just-
me and you were like, let's get grandes, and they were like,
And the problem
Ventis.
was because I was so tired, the only size
we're
I could think of at
exhausted.
Starbucks was venti. I couldn't think of any other size because I knew they'd get on your case if you say like small or large or something.
But you
So I
didn't
was just
have
like
to
venti
order.
was
You
the.
could have told me, and I could have translated for you.
Just
I could
a
have done
small-
that.
In case
But
you
I
guys are
wasn't
wondering, we
thinking
had to
when that
leave our
happened.
hotel
I
at
was so
3:30 in the
tired.
morning,
Yeah.
which was midnight or
then
12:30 in
almost
Boise.
And I was
murdered
packing
at
in
the
Boise
gas
time.
station.
And I was
Yeah.
packing until
with
about
the office
1:30.
chair.
Yeah.
And yeah, that like straight out of Detroit in the 70s, like gas station was
Spooky.
That was the most
Oof.
dirtiest, scariest
That
gas
was-
station I've ever seen in my life.
I loved it.
sketchy.
It was a good time.
All right, Jeff C. Bait Addict, did you break it in for? Oh, that's me. Sorry, guys. Blowing up here.
No, it's everyone.
Our friends at
Yeah,
Detailer's
somebody is.
Domain are
Someone's
mentioning
calling
us in
me
their
from
stories.
MO. What's MO? Is that Missouri?
All right.
Or
Yes.
Montana?
So
That's
Jeff
Missouri.
asks, Bait Addict, did you break it in first, and what are you using for lube? I haven't run into that when I've used the Ultra Clay Towel. OC Detail in New Jersey, Marco says, what's up?
What's up?
Bait Addict, Jeff C. Yup, used it on all the glass first, using O&R at 1 to 32 dilution, which is much higher than the instructions say. Zaya Carnuba, quick question. Have any of you gotten your hands on the new graphene coatings coming on the market? Super pumped about that technology.
Everybody keeps talking
Just
about
wanna get
graphene
your-
now.
Get your thoughts on it. No, man, we haven't yet, but we have been talking about it internally. Big Sexy Siobhan, finally got my new IK Multi Pro 12. I get it through Caribbean Talk.
Nice,
man. Good
nice,
work.
right on.
Tonezor's Detailing Adjacent, get it right.
Oh, he's
yeah, you
right.
said-
It is yes, adjacent.
right.
Oh,
Adjacent.
oh, did you
I
not?
gave your whole
You
spiel.
tried to do my
Sorry,
spiel.
I
Oh.
did,
He
and I
didn't
didn't
say
say
detailing
detailing
adjacent.
adjacent.
He said
I'm
automotive
sorry,
adjacent.
automotive
I
adjacent.
do that off the top of my head every time, and it always comes out more or less the same. Even I'm surprised because I don't
Yeah.
memorize it or anything.
Han says,
You're
Luke,
a
just bring a
natural thing.
1616
Natural
Eagle Edgeless
performer.
to chew on when you get scared. DJ Matkins, what's up, guys? I finally made it to a live feed, and because I'm sick, I'm here. Lol.
Aw.
Long time question, Levi. What happened to the Junk Man? The Junk Man is still alive and
He's
kicking.
still
Alive
alive
and
and
well.
well. He's married.
Yeah, he got married.
Yeah.
He got married, and
I know he hasn't had a lot of time to do some videos, and he's probably still working on his Corvette and his other cars, his El Camino or Malibu
Yeah.
or whatever
Yeah.
he's got. And he's got a Jeep. But, you know, the Junk Man's got a lady now.
He's got a lady now.
so-
Okay, things that he enjoys now: chopping wood.
Chopping
He's got a
wood.
whole video of
Yeah,
him chopping
he's got
wood.
a whole video about it.
Check that out. It's actually surprisingly entertaining. And then next to that, he's got his Jeep series, and then he's got a couple home videos.
Yeah. that he's
Family
posted, family
family
stuff.
videos. So.
So,
Oh.
but no, we still, Jeff
Interesting.
calls him usually once every couple months just to catch up.
Yeah.
He calls in every once in a while
Yeah.
just to say hi.
I
and
talk
stuff.
to him a few
Um,
times
yeah.
every year, absolutely. But I would say, remember, guys, his full-time job, he's not a detailer
No,
full-time.
yeah.
He actually does computer repair and stuff, so it's a little different. But he's still doing that stuff.
Yeah. So
Here we go.
Kirby Thompson, afternoon
yeah.
crew question for today. And then Bait Addict. I only noticed the difference in marring when using it on a black vehicle. I did a panel with the nanoskin and another with the Ultra Clay mitt. I also noticed the blue color on the mitt has started, and then that's it.
Started to wear. Is this normal? Starting to look black as the regular
there it
synthetic
is.
clay material is showing. So I can't speak
yeah,
to the
Bait Addict,
black.
send us some pictures using
Yeah.
a fake email address so we don't know who
you are, yeah, because we don't want that to ruin it.
Yeah, because that's troubling.
That sounds
Yeah.
for one.
strange. Yeah,
Um,
my clay towel. I'm embarrassed to say
I
that
destroy
it mine has been through hell and back.
Yeah, I like to let
and
mine dry.
still, I let
half
mine
and
dry
half.
out. Oh yeah,
Like I'll have it sitting half a bit of O&R and the other half out,
Yeah.
and I'll leave it for like 3 weeks, and then I'll get it all
Yeah.
wet again, and then I'll go right into a car, and I won't even use clay lube. I'll just
Yeah.
spray it with O&R,
Yeah, and
256
just go
to
straight
1,
in,
and
yeah.
just go to
There you
town.
go.
Well, so when Ivan handed us the first prototype of that
That thing
clay
had done
towel,
thousands.
it had
hundreds
done
of
so
passes.
many. Yeah, it had done so many passes. It had done so many cars. And but the thing is I almost liked it more the more worn in it was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
more broken
it was
in.
like it was
Very
like it
broken
was
in.
like a baseball mitt. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's like something
no, that's
that you
that's how my mitt has finally
Yeah.
gotten, where it actually feels like it's
like
it's
worn
better,
leather.
like it's been seasoned.
Yeah, it's been
Wow.
seasoned. It's like you've gone
It's
in
got the
so many
taste of
times
1,000 steaks
that it
on
just
it.
knows.
Back to the man grate and
Wow.
the stoneware again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh,
exactly.
man.
So that's just
Great.
my thoughts, though. But we got Glossworks
loves that
Detail Lab
story.
saying, "Hey, is for
Hey.
horses." Detailed Review says these brushes are bomb. You guys are awesome.
You're welcome, man.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
We sent Detailed Review some of the Detail Factory brushes
Nice.
to play with. So,
So Tom Kirby says, "Does using the Optimum Ferrix as a clay lube reduce the life of their clay towel or mitt?"
no, basically,
Not with
as long
Ferrix.
as you're cleaning it,
Well,
you gotta clean it off.
So-
Tar is the one you got to look out
So
for.
Yeah.
tar, you absolutely have to watch out for. I will say with Ferrix though, you would have to immediately rinse out.
Yeah,
that
you do.
mitt.
You can't just let it sit.
Because Ferrix, first off, it hardens. It is a stronger, has a stronger cleaning ability, right? So just keep that in mind. That if you are using it with Ferrix, rinse it out immediately. But you may not. I would say that you're not going to get the life out of that clay tower clay mitt that you would if you're using nothing but O&R as clay lube
Right.
versus Ferrix as a clay lube.
Yeah.
I think that O&R you're going to get much further than maybe
Well,
the use of Ferrix.
And if you're just working on your own vehicles, you shouldn't be having to use Ferrix every time you use
well,
it.
but Optimum Car Wax, for example, has so much lubrication that would
Yeah.
also be fine as well.
Yeah, for a quick
Yeah.
wax
So
clay, just
that,
like
that, I don't know.
I'd like
that's my
to.
opinion.
I'd like to take a moment to notice how much thicker and fuller my beard is.
Yes.
To the point this week, it has finally covered the upper lip.
So
How about
one
you, Dean?
thing-
Yeah, I've actually
that-
got
Pretty
facial
great.
hair coming back now. I've got that
It's good to
that
see.
1 week shadow.
Watched a whole
Nice.
documentary on
Yeah.
Greenland
Yeah.
because I wanted to
Greenland.
know
What does that have to
more
do with facial
about
hair?
the
sure
Nordic
how'd they
people
get
there.
up there that have
You,
that
you
immigrated.
saw lots of guys with red
and-
mustaches and white facial hair.
So did you know that the highest, I think the warmest it gets there is I think like 50 degrees
Mm.
ever.
Nice.
I
Sounds
think
lovely.
somebody
Summer
can
day.
correct me if I'm wrong, but would you live in Greenland?
I probably would. Yeah.
No.
See,
See,
so
I'd
they have
like
a mall
Greenland.
there, right?
Yeah.
I did some research. They're
So you can go shopping
they're
in case you need
Nanook
that.
or Nook or whatever the heck the place.
What?
There is a
Reykjavik?
place that is it's the biggest city there.
Hmm.
There is some type of mall-ish area, but I think the entire population of Greenland is like 52,000. No, less than that.
Yeah, it's a small country.
It's a small. Well, it's a big island.
Greenland's a massive
It's a
continent.
massive continent, but I mean, it's one of those things
Oh,
where
boy.
it's just not that many
Yeah.
people live there,
Yeah.
and I thought about traveling there, right?
Mhm. It's cheap.
Not by choice, right?
Oh, for
I've thought about when
Katie
well,
is
no,
going to take you there,
no, so
forcibly take
when
you there.
when we
What
fly
is
over
gonna
the
happen?
ocean, we
Ah,
fly
yeah,
over
we can
Greenland.
do a
Right.
Yeah, you can do a stopover.
So I'm saying
In
like
Greenland or Iceland, they allow you to do a 24-hour stopover if you like, mostly just to get people to visit.
Yeah,
really?
Iceland is beautiful.
They don't charge you any extra. You just get to spend 24 hours. So if you're flying from, like,
Ah.
let's say we want to fly Seattle to back to the UK,
Yeah.
you can put in to do a stopover and spend 24 hours in Reykjavik or
I don't know if I want to do
somewhere in
that.
Greenland. But that way you can at least
Yeah.
enjoy the sights, maybe spend a little money there,
Oh yeah.
and then make
Boost
your
the
way.
economy a bit.
For like an
Yeah.
idea of what it looks like, that you could watch like the movie Prometheus or Secret Life of Walter Mitty or something like
So
that.
I
Those have,
did-
like really beautiful.
I did some
scenes
research,
set
and I
there.
also found that the general life expectancy of a male in Greenland is anywhere from 64 to 68 years old,
Mm.
and
not
for a
very high.
female, it's 68 to 72. So I'm
Nice.
saying
a
that there
lot of
is
young people there.
long-term effects of that cold on your body. You're losing rough. I mean, if I'm wanting to live to
So-
110,
So in
then
my
I'm
life,
knocking at least
You wanna
40
live
years.
that
I'd
off
only
of
have
my
like
life.
24 years left. That's what we're saying.
I mean,
It's kind of weird to think about.
you're basically a little
'Cause I'll
more
be
than
40.
one Morgan away from kicking the
Yeah.
bucket.
Oh my god.
That's kind of terrifying, actually.
because I'll be 40 in February.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
Yeah. All
Okay.
right. Well, on that downer.
Well, let's go back to the questions.
Detailed reviews wondering, speaking of old people, is Dane drinking an Ensure?
No,
it's a
actually, it's
Pedialyte.
a Premier Protein.
It's a formula. It's a pre-mixed formula.
I have not had lunch or any kind of food today, so I figured I better have this before we sit down for 2 hours and talk.
Dane,
So-
are you going to Main
Dane.
Street Burger tonight? That's the big
No,
question.
ever
When
since
did
you
you
told me
last
that
go?
story about the bummer with the service, like
Yeah,
it's
it was
gone
pretty bad.
downhill.
Was
and I
that
feel
the
So
other
bad.
what?
day?
So are you instead of going to Main Street, are you just going to Jack from now on?
No, I still mix it up. I have a fancy freeze that opened near my house too.
Oh.
What?
So you have
Dirty son of
the
a...
Fancy Freeze that's over off of Locust Grove and Fairview.
What?
It's not.
For those of you
Fairview,
wondering, Fancy
That's
Freeze is a
Or
wicked
yogurts.
little
Yogurts.
drive-through that sells all
no,
kinds
no.
of ice cream
Oh, God,
novelties,
no,
as
Fancy
well
Freeze
as burgers,
opened
fries,
over- you
hot
know where
dogs,
the-
things of that nature.
The Sonic and the Walgreens and the stuff are down Linder and then up like U-Stick.
I
or
absolutely know
McDonald.
where that's at.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, there's
yeah.
a Fancy Freeze at the end of that now. There's the
What?
F45
Really?
gym, and then there's
They're
the
both
Fancy
so
Freeze
far from me.
on that little
Mm.
strip mall. And there's a Tin Roof Tacos there too.
Nice.
I
OC
Yeah.
Detailing New
hate
Jersey.
Tim
By the way, recently watching Ford versus Ferrari. Oh my goodness, what a film! Good to
Right?
see you all again.
Right?
Eco Green
love that
Detail.
as much as I
Should I
love
put
Rush.
mustard on my hot dog? Yes.
Yes. All right, let's make sure we didn't miss anyone here.
We're good. All right.
good.
Epiphany Detailing just saw a SEMA video that Invisible Glass is releasing a glass stripper. Did you get a chance to look at it? Wonder if it's just a compound. We did not get to see it. They were right across from us, but we
Yeah, they
never
were
got a chance to
Just
make
down
it
the
over
way.
there. Luke, I've been binge listening to the Q&As and podcasts. I don't remember saying half the things I said. Brian Manici, when will the new towel be on the website? January.
Beginning of January.
Yes.
Yep.
The new towel he's referring to is the gauntlet.
Hans Closen says, Luke Berge heads up 9 out of 10 times you ask if you can foam O&R. We all know that pretty well by
you
now.
know, he actually held back from it.
We have Luke saying, if you can hang... Okay.
Okay.
We have Hans saying, pure
No,
facts,
Luke.
but I remember saying that.
Leave.
Paul Foreman
deal
says
with
something
that
inappropriate.
negativity.
Luke Berge says, after a year of owning the Comet 1700, I work with, wouldn't recommend. My third pressure switch died today.
Oh.
Well, I think we'll have
Sorry,
to tell.
man.
I think there's one person distributing comments that you'll probably have to say something to. Paul Foreman says, what podcast do you listen to when you're detailing?
So I don't listen to podcasts. I listen usually to
Opera?
audiobooks. No, when I'm actually physically detailing, I do listen to audiobooks. When I polish, sometimes when I change it up,
Yeah.
like I said, I listen to opera and or old school rap, or just
Yeah.
It's a
gangster
good way to
rap in
be.
general.
Yeah.
Those of you who probably saw my stories last night. I was listening to a little Struggle Jennings
I see.
as I was polishing
Nice.
this little pickup.
Do you ever listen to Hurricane by Band of Heathens?
I do. I'd listen to that song a lot.
East Coast
It's one of my-
Adventure
It's
song.
one of my
Oh,
favorite
yes.
songs. It's part
The
of my.
official
It's
song.
part of my main playlist.
Yeah.
Struggle Jennings is fun. He's a great grandson of, or just a grandson of Waylon Jennings.
Wow.
wondered.
But he does. He raps.
Yeah.
And his first album has some sound bites from his grandfather, from Waylon Jennings.
That's
tagged into
cool.
some of these songs. So
Generational.
fun to listen to. Check out my stories. Go to the Rag Company Levi and see that before it disappears.
Wow. Okay.
What do you guys listen to?
I listen to movies. I go onto my Amazon movies, or
You
I
just
go
watch a
onto.
movie. Listen to a
I
movie?
listen to a movie. It's
Okay.
my favorite thing to do. Dane knows I like listening to
Yeah.
movies.
Yeah.
So my go-tos are The Goods,
Mhm.
Strange Wilderness,
Always.
Super Bad. What's it called? What's the brothers movie?
Step Brothers?
Oh,
Step
Step
Brothers.
Brothers?
I'll listen to. Gosh, the list goes on.
Yeah.
I usually listen to those because I die laughing, and it makes the time go by super
Yeah.
fast, and I enjoy it.
Nice. Morgan?
I like to watch Cops.
Okay.
Oh,
nice.
nice.
Wow.
Fun.
All right.
That's
Why are you
cool.
so sweaty?
Always
And
watching Cops.
Dane, what do you like to listen to in general?
I just like to listen to, podcasts because he asked. I like WTF by Mark Maron, and I also really enjoy How Did This Get Made
Yeah.
with Paul Scheer and those guys. They're hilarious.
Good
Jason
stuff.
Mantzoukas, they're friggin' hilarious.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites.
And then the rest of it is usually like music or political podcasts, stuff
The other
like that.
podcast I
I just
really
really
enjoy,
enjoy.
Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend.
Yes, that was fantastic.
never
actually,
heard it.
I
Really
really
great
like
one.
him in that long form format. It's
it's
really it's good for his humor.
So yeah,
Here we go. So, let's see. We're at the top
Matt
here.
and
Future Prison says,
Martin.
hey, what up, party people?
Yo.
We have Luke Berge on this episode of Q&A. Dane guilt trips the Q&A family all because he hasn't been able to jag off nearly as much
Oh.
recently. Martin
Thanks, Luke.
Carlson says, hi, question from Sweden about microfiber. Explain for me when to use a 37 or 70-30 and an 80-20 blend and why.
Martin, easiest thing to remember, a 70-30 blend is great for paint, and an 80-20 is great for the interior. Simple as that. Just if you just break it up that way, you're going to have no problems and no issues with your towels. If you're using an 80-20 on paint, you're going to run into some instances where those towels are going to mar the surface. That's just luck of the draw.
Not always, but it can
Yep.
happen.
Yeah.
I would
So,
say
that's
the
it.
other thing to think about too is when you're looking, say, like at drying towels, a 70-30 drying towel is going to absorb more than an 80-20
much more
drying
absorbent.
towel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That smaller number is the polyamide, and that's going to basically the increased number is going to increase the amount it can absorb. But if you're dealing with more material but a lower blend, they kind of even out. So
Bait Addict says, it's interesting. It could be pressure because I'm putting my hand inside the mitt. I guess that would result in pressure points. Since the nanoskin pad just has a Velcro strap, there is a bigger cushion. I'll no longer put my hand in the mitt. We've lost
more cushion.
more cushion for the press-in. And I'll let you know if that changes anything on the other cars I tried on. Again, no big deal. All clays can stretch to a certain extent.
Yeah.
correct.
Hans, Carissa said something dirty, and then Hans said something dirtier, said Levi's two-fingering the clay mitt. Nicholas Anderson, hey, never tried your towels. Do you have any Norwegian sellers? Yes, Nicholas, check out Norwash.
Norwegian. would that
Didrik
be-
Danielson
would that
in
be-
Norway.
Would that be Greenland?
No, it's Norway.
Why would you think that?
So, Frank Martinez, I just ordered a clay towel and some Lake Country pads. Can't wait. I need the gauntlet, though. If I pay extra, can I get it early? Haha. Sorry, Frank. Wish we could, buddy. Epiphany Detailing. No Southwest planes have TVs. They are a bring your own device and watch the TV and movies on it. It's how they save money.
Makes sense.
Bait Addict. But any chance you can give us a sneak peek on what the Friday sales will be like?
He's still
Uh,
fishing.
we're going to do that probably on Monday.
Yeah.
We're still working through all the stuff of what we are going to be putting out there for Black Friday.
There's a good one though.
We
There's
might
one really
tease
good
it
one.
just for the podcast to make you guys
Yeah.
listen if you want to get in on that. So, especially considering we're not going to have a Q&A because
yeah.
I'm going to be doing nothing
Me
for
too.
Thanksgiving. I'm
Yeah.
legit not cooking anything.
Mhm. Yeah.
I'm legit not going anywhere.
Just taking the
Nice.
Mm,
What are
day
you gonna
off, just-
eat?
I'm going to take naps and I'm going to stay in my pajamas all day.
What are you gonna
Nice.
eat though?
I don't have anything figured out yet.
But you're gonna eat something.
Probably
right?
order pizza.
whatever it is, they're gonna
Oh,
eat a lot of
sounds
it.
good. Honestly,
I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want to see anybody. My mom's going to come over. That's the nice thing.
Not
That
even
doesn't
my own
count, though.
family. I'm
Yeah.
just.
No.
is she gonna bring enchiladas? Possibly.
I don't know what my mom's going to do.
Could
I
she
don't
bring
know if I wanna-
enchiladas for me?
Anthony wants those.
Just have
enchiladas.
Anthony come over for
Like,
Thanksgiving.
hey.
He's like, hey, I just need to run out and
Hi,
check
I'm
the mailbox.
here.
real
Katie's
quick."
like, where are you going?
She's like, you've been checking the mail for like 3 hours.
yeah, just over here eating some
Oh,
enchiladas. Levi's
speaking of
mom
checking the
brought
mail,
some.
I'm supposed to receive
Yeah.
my Yeezys today.
Oh, Dane bought
you
you.
they're probably
are
lost
not.
in the
Are-
mailroom.
today or tomorrow?
Today.
Dang.
It was supposed to
I
be
bet Liz is
tomorrow, but I
probably
got a
wearing 'em.
notification that
Probably,
they're showing
she's
up
She's like,
breaking
these
them
are
in.
girls'
You-
shoes.
Yeah.
Is Liz
Look
wearing
great.
them?
No, she told me she'd be watching the door if somebody knocked her, rang the bell. So
Ooh.
we'll see.
Wow.
Important
We'll
job.
see.
She's
Yeah.
keeping her eye out.
Yeah.
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 It ain't much, but it's honest work. All right,
Right.
so let's get into it from here.
All right,
We
Tim,
got
bring her down a little more. Okay, we've reached the bottom, Tim.
Oh.
There we go.
Bait
All
Addict. Okay, here we go. We got
Luke
Luke Berge
Berge.
says suggestions to do during a 4-hour layover.
Eat,
So typically,
take a nap.
I like to make several bathroom breaks.
Yep.
I do one
Fun
in the
thing you can
beginning.
do. So with
one
4
middle,
hours,
one at
where's
the
your
end.
layover, Luke? If it's at, let's say, Minneapolis, St. Paul,
Mhm.
Yeah.
go find the prestigious
Ooh, yeah.
family bathroom that Anthony and I have found.
I literally
Truly one of
love
the
that.
finest bathrooms in the world.
No, one of the
Uh,
best bathrooms I've ever gone to in an
yeah.
airport in general. And I will say that the Germany bathrooms that I went to were actually some of the nicest I've ever been to. But this one was definitely a close second. Your other option, Luke, is to go to one of your favorite fragrance stores within there at the airport
You have
and
a
spruce
problem.
yourself up, right?
Yeah,
Have a large,
That's another great thing. You
There-
can swing
serious
by
problem.
Okay, there's
the
a
duty-free places.
duty-free places that have a handful of expensive fragrances that you'll never be able to pay. That none of us will ever be able to afford, right?
Did you just eat that out of
Spray
there?
yourself with the nicest
Little
$300
spritz.
fragrance you
Little
can
Little
find.
spritz, freshen
Um,
yourself up.
Maybe look for brands such as Aventus Creed, right? A
Ooh.
$300 fragrance that is very nice, very spicy, with a little
Don't soak
pineapple
yourself
scent.
in it. Please don't take
No,
advantage of
no.
it.
Everyone
Uh,
on the plane will hate
you can-
Yeah,
so
you
just
can
don't
one,
spray
do that.
one
yourself-
spray.
You can spray
all you need.
yourself with Dior Sauvage, right?
Sausage.
The,
The official
scent
rag company
of
scent.
official rag company scent. You can also spray yourself with a handful of others, maybe a Tom Ford scent,
yeah,
right?
that's a
If you're
nice one.
going for
Yeah.
the leathery or the oud scent.
like
So,
it. Should work.
anyways, Adam Blackwell says, "What's happening to your seat?"
Hey,
Not a
by
lot.
the way, Adam, thank you for sending me your message. I will get back to you on that. He
Dane
was
doesn't
asking
check
me.
his emails.
No, he sent me a DM over Instagram asking if I could take a look at his YouTube channel to figure
Oh,
out
very
if he
nice.
could get some help getting more hits and stuff. So I'm gonna look
He's asking
over
the
it. But
pro.
well, I mean, Anthony probably has more experience at this.
That's
than I
not
do.
true because after the last video that I helped
Well,
I helped
you,
coordinate,
You guided the title and the thumbnail, and I
and
am
it took
sad.
a giant. It is tanking right now. So feel free to check out our SEMA video to please bump up those views and leave a comment because it's actually
Just
quite
refresh
sad.
it. Just sit there.
Jimmy
and
Jimmy
refresh
did a
it.
killer job on it. The quality of the video is not
is
in
great.
question. It's just it's not being seen by
Apparently,
people.
my thumbnail was the worst thing I have ever put out. So I don't know what
So
happened
I
there.
feel
Should've
bad.
just put a
I
picture
need
of
people to
yourself.
watch that
Like-
ASAP.
I don't know what I should have done. Sorry,
I
Dane.
think YouTube is just in a phase where it's punishing our channel.
Oh,
So-
why are we getting punished?
I don't know. Just YouTube algorithm is finicky like that. If
That
you're not
hurts
just
my
constantly
feelings.
feeding it the same thing over and over,
So
it
we
doesn't
took a
like
small
They're trying to
break and
sell
now it's mad
things.
at
Shut
us?
them down.
No, it's more that we do a lot of different things. We don't just do the same thing over and over and
Because
repeat it.
we're not doing it for the views. We're doing
Yeah.
it for the passion.
Well,
Uh,
we actually do it because we.
Let's jump
Wanna
into
do
Chris's
different
comment
things.
here,
Yeah.
Dane. We got Carissa Thomas
right.
says, "Where I live, we have a lot of ash on our vehicles.
Mm.
A volcano is what it sounds like. Also,
Yeah.
water restrictions, definitely a volcano. My waterless wasn't
Oh.
was not really doing it. And then I heard Ivan say O&R. O&R. I put O&R in the waterless wash. Worked.
Yay!
Wow.
Great stuff. Great stuff.
Here we go. Adam Thurman, go for it, Levi.
What's up, friends? When will WOWOs start being produced in the good old US of A? I'm excited for those products. Adam, we're hoping to hear that it's going to be happening after the first of the year. There are a bunch of other stuff with the facility that they're trying to get sorted out.
There's a lot of things
So
that got to be worked
One
out.
thing that we
Yes.
will say, though, is, and I think we can say this, is that we're stocked.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
did get our shipment in, which will
Yeah,
be
we
ready
are-
for sale December 9th.
Yeah,
Yep.
so we are fully stocked. We're excited for everybody to get their hands on it. But
Just gotta wait a few more
Riley
weeks,
S.
folks.
brought up a good question here. Says, on the upcoming WOWOs, can Contact 121 be layered over crystal sealant, or is it meant to be used by itself? So Riley, that's a good question. So going to your general rules of layering, protection on protection, typically you have your longest lasting being your first layer, and then your second layer being your shortest lasting. Now, in that particular case, 121, crystal sealant does last substantially longer than 121, but the hydrophobic effects and the surface tension are going to be completely different on the two. So the 121 is going to be a lot slicker, a lot faster at obviously having that higher contact angle when it comes to sheeting and beading water. So if you wanted to layer it, you could, but each one on their own is still ridiculously good. And so
Yeah.
one thing to keep in mind is that you have a small amount of solvent within the 121, so putting that over the crystal sealant, I'm not saying that will negatively impact the life of the crystal sealant. It's just 121 can definitely hold its own on its own,
Yeah.
and crystal sealant can hold its own on its own. So our favorite combo, Levi likes to do, is 121 topped with quick detailer, right?
Yeah.
Or 121 topped with a quick detailer. It doesn't necessarily take away from the contact angle of 121, but it will increase the depth and the shine. So
I mean, the 121 is the highest contact angle of any product currently available, isn't it?
out of any canned wax
Yeah.
or any sealant or anything even in that category, because I
And
mean
coating.
you're in the you're in coating
Yeah.
contact angle
No,
territory
it's nuts.
Yeah.
is where you're at. So
So realistically, it's just going to be a lot of us all trying to figure
Yeah.
out which one works
Playing
best.
around
But,
with it.
but the rule of thumb, always your longest level of protection first, and then shortest on top.
And that
Yeah.
crystal sealant is tough
Yeah.
as nails.
So if it was me, I would go with if it was me, I would go with Malo Wax over crystal sealant. If it was me, and the reason why I would do this is because Malo Wax, you're gonna have more, you're gonna have higher amounts of gloss agents, and so I'm gonna get the gloss, but I'm also gonna get the extreme durability of the crystal sealant, and I'm excited for people to
Yeah.
to get
And then
their
other
hands
people
on that.
like products that are a little more self-cleaning in the sense like Contact 121 compared to Malo Wax. So it's all just personal preference.
Yeah.
All right, David Timothy Duvall, amazing how you guys spend a week literally living together and yet come back to the work environment and laugh like family. You're fortunate. TRC seems like a very special place to work.
We just all really love
It
each
is.
other.
Let's just say it is definitely interesting when we've got 12 of us in a house together.
Yeah.
And somehow we all make it work. However, I will say the last days are always the hardest.
Oh, always.
And specifically the ride home is always the hardest, or the final flight. Usually at the end of like when the four of us travel together, that last day, we don't really talk a lot. We eat, we get somewhere, and we're done. And we usually, okay, see you guys, bye.
It's because
that's
you don't
always-
have to be on.
We're not on
for,
anymore,
like, any
yeah.
other guests or
Yeah, and we're
anything.
tired. So this year was very different because normally we drive home from Vegas, and that's always kind of just like everybody's just exhausted and
Yeah.
done.
It's a long road back.
Morgan got to fly out on Friday,
I
Yeah.
did.
so she didn't have to sit in a car with everybody.
Mercifully cut short.
Anthony and I got to fly home on Saturday,
Yeah.
so that was nice, but we were still exhausted. Dane, however, had
And
to
I
drive.
drove everybody back.
Dane drove everyone back, so Dane actually probably had to deal with the brunt of it. But
That's why I think I got the SEMA flu delayed
yeah, I think
compared
so.
to everyone else.
Yeah, but that's always the hardest. So it is. There are times. I mean, Jeff does yell at everybody sometimes if we're acting out of turn, or there is still a parental smackdown, so to speak.
Yeah.
We all kind of have to abide by a certain curfew, and we
it's not
try not
even-
to do our own thing so much.
Yeah, it's not
Um,
bossing people around. It's mostly just making sure we're accountable because we've got to be there in the morning to
Yeah.
work.
Yeah, and that's the biggest reason Jeff and Carolyn like to have all of us there is for them it's the investment that they're putting into this event, and the money that they're paying out. They want to make sure that we are doing our best to make sure that those goals and that ROI are being met. And so, for instance, like if we are out at an event, we all have to try and remember to be on our best behavior because we are members of the Rag Company. And the last thing we want is someone getting too crazy and putting a bad taste in someone's mouth for Rag Company because they say, "Oh,
I
that
do
guy's
think it's a
so-and-so, or
really
this girl, this, so I don't know."
interesting, cool, unique thing about us. Just to toot our horn for a second, which is we're able to do that because we've kind of built this family atmosphere where we're able to
truly
actually
working,
enjoy
yeah.
each other's company.
Yeah.
Both work and play doesn't matter. We're all gonna get along and get the job done, whatever it is. It's not like we're a whole bunch of just mercenaries who happen to occupy a similar space, and then as soon as the job's done, we're just like off, like
Now-
adios, and go our separate
Yeah,
ways.
and there are other customers or other companies that do that. Maybe they get all the employees, they all get hotel rooms at the
and
same
it's not
hotel.
that they don't like each other. It's just
Yeah.
I think we have a very different dynamic
Well,
altogether.
and your parents
compared to a
fostered
lot
that
of
dynamic
places.
from
Yeah.
the start. So, like when the four of us travel, we stay in hotels. We don't usually
Yeah.
get an Airbnb for us or anything like that. But when your dad's with us, it's an Airbnb.
Yeah.
And he likes to make sure that
It is
he's
a
got-
household.
He's got a household still, and there's that kind of a different air about it.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. So, and Morgan, you've traveled with us now a couple times. What do you think for being new at all of this business
Is
travel?
it weird? Is it
and
fun? Is it like
This kind of thing.
I think it
How
is
did you do?
fun. It is. I have traveled like for my last job. I did go on a couple trips, and it is nothing like traveling with the Ride Company crew. You guys obviously are all like my big brothers in
That's really
the
nice.
East Coast
appreciate it.
and at SEMA. So
we look out?
yeah.
Yeah, and that's kind of just the company, I guess, culture.
Yeah.
So thanks, David. Appreciate
Yeah.
it. That means a lot.
No, it's a great
Um,
question.
We got Bait Addict says, good question, Riley. Yes. With Contact 121, if I applied over CSL and EXO, what products would I apply to not alter the contact angle of 121? Bead Waker would only make it worse, I would assume.
Yes.
Yeah. So
You didn't put anything on top of Contact 121
no.
if you don't want to change
yeah.
the contact angle because
Yeah.
it's also going to affect the contact angle of whatever product sits on top of it.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. So that's why we were saying Contact 121 on its own is fine. I mean, you can top it with Quick Detail, or you can clean it with waterless wash if you want to clean it with waterless wash. I mean, or you can top it with Showstopper if you want. Showstopper doesn't have anything in it that's going to change the surface tension or going to change the
No.
contact angle because it is just a pure gloss agent. So that would actually probably make the most sense in terms of adding some extra pop
Yeah,
to
and
it.
if
That'll
you
have
wanted to increase it,
a
you just
benefit.
reapply, put another coat of it on.
Yeah.
Or literally just do exactly that because if you're getting to the point where like it's not as cheating as fast as it once was,
Yeah.
just apply a little bit more because you'd be surprised how many applications you can get in that one can.
Yeah.
Luke
Luke
Berge.
Berge, no pre-check. Sorry, buddy.
Oh.
Dang.
Rectangle. Should I coat my wheels before or after the tires get mounted? Depends on how you can do it. I did my wheels all the way around, including the insides where the tires were going to come in contact
Yeah.
with. I coated everything,
Just to make sure there's no seam.
and I like doing that. Anthony.
So we got Bait Addict says, I just like to have something to wipe the car down after drying once it's washed. Helps to clean up the leftover water spots and makes the paint look. Would be nice if there was a product that did not alter the surface at all or just make it better regardless of what was underneath. So that's where Showstopper would be the product to use. And I think we have a bottle right there, Levi, if you want to hand that to me. So this is what it looks like right here. So this is what's going to give the paint some extra pop, obviously, but it's not going to change the surface tension. Doesn't have any protection. Doesn't
It
have
is
any.
pure gloss enhancer.
That's it. This is all this does. So this would be most ideal, or taking waterless wash and even diluting that. So if you have like diluted 1-to-1 and basically go around the whole car with that way you're wiping something down. Because I think what you're looking for is the lubrication, right? And you're looking for something that's going to make the paint look better, and that's kind of where those two products sit. So Nick Stamos, not to be confused with John Stamos
From Full House.
from Full House, who is extremely
Uncle
good looking.
Jesse.
Very handsome man
Love
that guy is. Says, hey, TRC, your Australian has a new pearl towel, which is premium.
Yeah, the premium pearls out there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hope you
Yeah.
enjoy it. David, I've learned so much from you guys over the past year or so. Bought a ton of TRC towels, both IK version 2 sprayers, and gallons and gallons and gallons of PNS and Optimum Chemicals. Thank you.
Thank
You're
you,
welcome.
David.
No,
That's
that's
awesome,
awesome.
man. We appreciate it.
Nick wants to know what the difference is with the original green one. Well, the original green one is a Chinese 80-20, where the Purple Pearl is actually a 70-30 Korean. Those are the
Right.
two biggest differences. Also cost.
Yeah, I mean the
So-
green one's going to be your most cost-effective one. The purple one is when you're working
the-
on
the
really
gr-
premium stuff.
Yeah, green one's going to be just fine. If you're working with
Yeah.
thicker coatings like Fine Lab or Mavinci or something like that, that's when the Purple Pearl really works great. We also, a lot of folks like it for wrap when they're, just have
Yeah.
a towel to wipe surface. They like the way that one kind of moves along the surface to make sense. So-
Truth.
And then Nick says,
Um,
sorry, my internet's stuffed up. Oh, Luke says, I just rebuilt my turbo, put a Wicked Wheel 2 and exhaust side wheel in my Wicked Wheel 2 and exhaust side wheel in my
Okay.
truck. Okay, Luke.
All right. So,
Nick says,
Morgan,
sorry, my internet's
I would
stuffed
like
up.
you to read this next one, Morgan.
Aw.
You want me to read it?
We
Yeah.
do.
Okay. So Kelly McMurray says, so sad I have to tune in here just to see my favorite girl. Hi, Morgan. Come home soon. Hi to the whole TRC crew.
Hey, Mama
Hey.
McMurray. All right.
Mama Kelly in the
Hey.
house.
In the house.
We always
Morgan,
love when she's
uh,
Hi,
awesome.
Mom.
Go
Morgan,
see
Hi,
your mom.
Mom.
Why are you not going home
Why
to
are
see
you
your
not
mom? What's
seeing
been
your
going
mom
on?
lately?
She is so extra. I literally saw her a couple days ago.
It's not enough.
Okay, well, she wants you to talk to her at least once a day.
Yeah.
I
so
do. She literally is texting me.
Well, you need
you
to actually
are
call
one
her.
of two
Well.
children,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
She has one, but she hasn't seen the other as much.
Yeah.
So here's
you
the
can't
deal,
deprive her
Morgan.
of that. It's 50-50, Morgan.
One of the
It's
things,
not good enough.
and I'll tell you just flat out, I don't practice this either. But you need to call your mom every once in a while.
Aw.
I do.
I text my mom all the
I
time.
ask her. Mom vouched for me. I literally called her on the way home, and
She
I was
wouldn't
like,
be
"I
saying
miss
this.
you.
She
I
wouldn't be
love
saying
you."
this if
I
you were-
guarantee you, if she's still listening, she will
Yeah.
vouch for me that I
I'm
called
from
her.
the same generation your parents are. We're proud Gen Xers, and I am gonna say they still like to hear your voice on the
So,
telephone.
I call her. I swear
visit
I
my
call her.
parents. I typically try to visit my parents twice a week,
Oh, you're a
right?
good
If
son.
I can.
Great son.
Right?
Yeah.
So
Stuff.
I go over there.
Had a good talk with my dad last night.
I pretend like I never left, right? So when I pull up, right, I walk straight into the house. I
Just
don't knock.
use
I
the
don't
bathroom.
ring. I
I have
walk
a
in.
garage opener.
Yeah.
I
So
go
just use the
immediately to the
bathroom?
fridge, and my
Okay.
mom says, she's like, "You're hungry, obviously. You're looking in the fridge." I'm like, "No, I'm just browsing."
Yeah.
So I open. I don't
Well,
see
she wants
anything
to
I
make
want.
a plate for you.
And then I go into the pantry, and I look in the pantry, and I'm usually just like, I don't want any of this, but I'm gonna settle for these stale chips, right? So I
Okay.
grab those, and that's
Parents
when
are good for stale
and that's
chips.
when my mom was like, she's like, do you want a drink or anything? Do you want? She's like, I got you those sparkling waters that you like so much.
Oh, it's nice
And
that
I'm
she
like-
buys
White
those still.
And I'm like, Mom,
Sound like White Claws.
yeah. And I'm like, Mom, I don't live here. You don't have to buy those for me. And she's like, well, I just want you to have something when you come come here to have a drink, right? And then because my brother, right, he's in the Air Force
Yeah,
now.
he's
He's
not
at,
there
he's at
either.
boot camp. So there's no kids there.
Yeah.
So she's like,
Aw.
so when we stop by, it's like literally like, what's going on? Like, what do
Yeah.
you what do you want to do?
Oh
and
my,
so
wow.
It's very nice
Um,
of you to do that.
I love my mom, so I like to stop there a
Yeah.
couple times a week. To
Anytime I'm in
entertain
Meridian,
them.
she calls me and says, "Do you need to eat anything?" And I'm like, "Mom, I'm literally just here to like
Man,
do something
See,
tiny."
I have to see my parents every single day, whether I want to or not.
Dane
so.
tries not to talk to his parents.
He does.
as
He
much as
takes the same
possible.
days off. Also,
he,
as
he
them.
also walks in. He's been coming in the other way. I noticed when Jeff and Carolyn are here, he
Oh,
sneaks in the
man.
back way into his office, and then I love hearing Carolyn come down the hall, and she's like, "Oh, Dane, you're here."
Yeah,
And Dane's like, "Yeah, I've
that's
been
my
here.
that's my
Been
favorite.
here."
Here's the thing, though. You know what?
It's like, "Well, I didn't see you walk by."
Carolyn always gives Dane a hug every single day.
Every day.
I will point
Yeah.
that out.
Oh
She
my
always
God.
gives a hug goodbye.
Yep.
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 So that's always a positive.
Yeah.
I love my
That's the
parents, but
best.
I'm very much like you guys know this. I'm very laissez-faire. I'm hands off. I'm one of those solitary creatures. I
I'm
just
cool. I'm Dean. I'm
I
cool.
just-
Cool.
no, like I'm lone
He's one of
wolfy. I
those
just
cool
kind of do
dads.
my own thing,
Okay,
and
Dane.
it's nothing against anybody
It was
else.
a lot more heartwarming
I
when we just
just-
kept that
No,
part
but
out.
I'm just keeping it real. So
Dane's hard.
Dane can't lie.
Dane's hard. He has a
No.
mohawk. He's wearing a
Not a Dixon flannel.
flannel,
So
a
fake
felt.
flannel.
What is
Not
that
to be
called?
confused
What's
with
that?
AU
Flannel.
Dane,
What's
alternate
that
universe
from?
Dane.
Yeah.
oh man.
All
just-
right.
it's
Brian
fleece
G.
flannel.
Oh
Fleece.
man.
Yeah.
Fleece
Tar
flannel.
will absolutely destroy the clay towel. Lickety
man.
split. But I've had problems with my towel getting sticky. Any ideas?
Oh, like
I
tacky?
don't, Brian. You're gonna have to kind of just maybe clean them. Everybody needs to just clean your clay towels. Little power clean, scrub them up with your hand, rinse them off. Probably do that, and then we'll see if they're still sticky. Rectangle, really digging Rupes Uno. Could you use it with a microfiber pad? I'm going to say wool or foam only is where I'm going to recommend. Luke Berge, because of the fact that the microfiber generates too much heat. Luke Berge, Morgan, how's your mom doing? The other week you said she had some sort of medical condition.
She does, and she will always have that. It's not a thing that's going to go away. She just has something that makes me realize a lot of the things that I take for granted, like being able to walk around without any difficulty. But she's doing good. She's a strong lady.
We're all rooting for Mama
thriving.
Kelly.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing. So Brian G says, also, are these ceramic sprays actually legit? Like better than waxes? So
some yes.
I'm assuming he's probably
It's all
referring
relative.
to there's about 5 ceramic sprays, right, that are out on the market through the most popular brands in the industry right now, right? All using the name ceramic and all of those, right? Are they good? Yeah, they are good. You can check out the testing. You can check out the stuff that everybody's doing reviews on. I mean, that's kind of the top hitter right now. They're all weirdly green too, which is actually the color that they chose. I guess green is the color of the year or something. So, but they are good. I think they've come a long way. Here we go. So Luke Berge says, I think I'm going to save Ford versus Ferrari for my flight.
You'll
Luke,
enjoy it.
You'll have
I don't
to
know if it'll
make
be out,
sure it'll
but
be
yeah.
out.
Yeah, that's a good point, though. I don't think it'll be out in the next month.
Yeah.
Jose Garcia says, what do you think about PNS inspiration coding? Me personal, it's a game changer for mobile detailers.
It's a great coating.
It's tough stuff.
Yeah.
So
it's good,
do we-
but you can't go too far with it at a time.
Do we want to talk about how long my high spots lasted?
Oh, they
Yeah.
last for a long time if you
Yeah.
have high spots. I had to polish
Basically,
mine off.
don't
Yeah.
invite
It's
high
not
spots.
it's not an entry level
Do
coating.
a little at a time and make sure it's not the first coating you ever use.
Greg Masterson's Car Care. How did you guys survive the nonstop alcohol at SEMA?
That's a good question, actually.
I have the ultimate answer for that.
What's
Do
that?
you? What's your answer?
I don't
He
drink.
just doesn't drink
He
it.
doesn't drink. Okay.
Simple.
Uh,
I just don't
For
drink
the
alcohol.
rest of us,
Makes it. I don't have any problems. I don't have to
we
wake up.
Levi
You
got us
We
scot free.
Man,
all look
I have
over
no
at Dane
problems.
and we're just like, no.
I manage.
So how do we say this? So
We don't drink at the show.
yes,
We
No,
don't
yeah.
wake
not
up
at the show.
drinking either.
No.
That's
Correct.
another one.
Yeah.
A lot of people like to wake up, have a beer.
Yeah.
We don't do that.
A
'cause
breakfast-
We
a
are.
breakfast brew.
Yeah,
beer.
we don't do that.
Yeah.
Just because we're in Vegas, we still have a company to run. We still
Yeah.
have a business to
Well,
attend to. So
one-
we don't drink in the morning. That's the number one thing.
So
People were doing
Yeah.
that before,
Well,
like,
There-
Being
there-
at SEMA
there are
all
I'm
day?
sure there's
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot of people
Oh,
that
yeah.
do that.
yes.
oh, sorry.
Second, we don't drink in the booth, and we don't wander around and go have beers at lunch and things like that.
So do you want to know? Do you want to know what our answer is, though? Right.
Yeah.
We don't stay on the strip.
Oh,
Do you know
great
how-
idea.
do you know how-
yeah,
do you know
that's
how-
the other thing.
do
We
you know
have a
how-
house we go back to. We order
Yeah.
pizza and we just chill out.
Yeah, it's extremely easy not to drink when you're not living on the strip, and I just trust me on that because you're just going back to a house. Now, that's not to say that we don't get some drinks to take home with us.
There was
Oh, yeah.
beer. I
But-
remember watching
Have a
Dane
brewski.
sit on
Happy.
the floor of the kitchen, filling the
Crisscross
fridge.
applesauce?
Yep, crisscross applesauce, filling the fridge with some silver
Coronas.
bullets.
Yeah.
Yeah, not even mine, but I was just making sure John was happy. He
Yeah.
had
That's
his
so
Coors
Had
that he
sweet.
loves
had
so
some
much.
silver bullets for
Coors
John and
Light.
Josh, some Modelo's for Anthony and Dane.
Yep.
You guys had Modelo's?
No,
Yeah.
actually,
Stone.
I only had one Modelo because apparently Jeff also likes Modelos.
Oh yeah, Jeff.
So
Oh,
I
yeah.
didn't get a whole lot of those.
Well,
No, but-
I got Modelo's for you guys, so I guess they had them all.
Well,
But the,
'Cause
but
I
the
think
point
I had
is,
one.
Not
is we
Yeah.
are very cautious with our
Yeah.
drinking.
yeah.
If
There's a time and a place for it, and if it's
no,
not
there's
that
never a time
or
and a place. Just Dane, that could be used. Dane's like, well, it's 3:30 here at the show. I'm gonna
Hey, I'm
crack
just saying,
open one
this
of
is
these
the
bad
time, and
boys.
I'm in this place.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
So there's not a time and a place, but again, it goes back
Yeah.
to the parental level in which this household is ran by Jeff and Carolyn. So there is beer available at the house.
Yeah.
I had like the last day of SEMA,
Yeah.
we were all exhausted. We were driving back to the house.
Yeah.
Anthony ordered a bunch of pizzas,
Mhm.
and Jeff's like, "We have beer." And I said, I have a fresh 2-liter bottle of Diet Pepsi that hasn't been cracked. It's been sitting in
Yeah.
the fridge all day.
Your name on it, yeah.
That sounded real good to me, and some pizza.
I mean, the big
And
rule: don't be an idiot. That's
so
a
with
pretty
that, the
simple
boys
rule.
were like,
Don't be
"Oh,
stupid."
we got our pajamas on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Had
We-
some pizza, some
PJ
Pepsi,
party.
and some beer.
all
That
of
was
us,
simple.
all of us
PJ
know our
Pizza
limit,
Party.
and none of us go over that limit. I
Right.
mean, so everybody here at the Rad Company, like, we know that all it takes is one person to ruin that, right?
Oh, yeah.
So we respect that very well, and so if
Well, and we try and treat it
we
like
don't-
we're still on
we
the
don't
clock.
abuse that.
Yeah.
Exactly, because technically
Well,
we
yeah,
are.
We're
if
always
you're,
on the
if you're at a
clock. We're-
social event and there's alcohol, you watch yourself because hey, you're still in company of others. I
Well,
mean,
and like we
it's-
said, ours is
yeah.
is we're always on the clock. And Greg,
Yeah.
you understand that. We're
Yeah.
like,
You're always working.
We're always
I mean,
working,
social-
regardless.
Social media doesn't sleep, man.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean you can't enjoy yourself. Just don't be an
Yeah.
idiot.
Yep.
So we got Wes DePorter says best CRM software for mobile detailers.
Ah.
Check out RotaFest.
yeah,
Zenware.
Friends at
by
Zenware.
Zenware. So go ahead and check them out, and they do all the stuff for the Detail Mafia, and it's really effective. We got Efren Aguilera says the best description of WoWo's products.
handmade in Scotland.
Yeah.
Car care
Car care craftsman. The
Best
whole product line
description.
is made and developed by one person
Yeah.
with the help of a couple guys in his facility.
Yeah.
And they manufacture, the three of them manufacture everything in-house.
Yeah. Beginning to end.
Yeah, start to finish. Soup to nuts, as they say. And
See how
great,
the sausage is made.
yeah, great products.
Haggis,
Uh,
right? No.
We are bringing over 17 products to the U.S. They do have a full line over there, but we are bringing 17 to start, just because we picked the ones that we think will do the best here in the U.S. So, pretty simple, Efren. Good company. It's still technically it's not a new brand, but it is a new
Well,
brand in the sense of social media platform.
and this
US,
particular line you guys
distribution, all
helped
that stuff.
develop with feedback.
And
Basically,
Anthony and I
beginning to
do have
end.
a little bit of
Yeah.
feedback involved in spending 18 months working on
Yeah.
how to make these products the best they could be for the United States.
Because you know what's out there
So-
and you know what you got to compete with.
Yep.
So
So, Wes again asked the same question: best service to help mobile detailers on book, follow up customers, customer
yeah.
retention, and all CRM. Again,
Zenware,
Wes,
yeah.
Zenware's RoadFS.
yeah,
Check them out. Tyler Fielder, I missed the last couple Q&As, but I'm happy to be back. Will the TRC crew be at Mobile Tech Orlando? Yes,
Yes.
Tyler, we will be there. Luke says, why doesn't anyone make a 60-40 blend towel? Wouldn't it be way more absorbent? Luke,
they
when you get
exist.
here, we will show you a 60-40 towel, but the cost of it does not warrant the necessity to,
the
to make
benefit,
it, basically.
the benefit's
Yeah.
not there.
It's not, yeah, it's weird, but we've got a 60-40.
Yeah.
If you ever want to swing by the Rag Company sometime, we'll show you. So, Red Eye Andy, hey guys, I'm getting ready to prep, polish, and ceramic coat my car, but the front section has PPF. Would it be safe to polish PPF? Yes, but you need to be careful. You've got to watch your heat control. You can't spend a long time on the panel. Very different than paint. Really, really, really watch your temperature. Yes, you can polish PPF, but you have to be careful with it. And it is not something for anybody who's never done it. So,
Might try
uh,
practicing. on
Tyler,
the panel
back up.
first.
Levi, did you use any software at your shop, or did you do your office operations look like payment processing, scheduling, CRM, marketing, etc.? I didn't use anything other than QuickBooks for all my accounting stuff. I did everything on Facebook for marketing and Instagram, and that was it. Like, I looked into the CRMs because they were starting to become fruitful. Had I kept my shop, I probably would have. I was starting to look into RoadFS, and that was my primary one that I was checking on. So. Thankfully, I'm now friends with those guys, and they do great stuff. So,
Here we go. So, Christopher Beard, did we answer that yet?
Nope.
Okay, so Ed says, advice needed. Girlfriend's car air stinks. Only smells when temp dial gets moved in a cold section. Heat is fine, and yes, has a brand new cabin filter.
that would have been my
Never
first
had this
guess.
issue during the summer.
condensation. That's typical.
Okay, yeah.
It's totally typical. What you need to do is basically you need
I know
to.
this. I know the smell he's talking about.
Yeah.
So what it is you need to run the heat in the car for a very long time to dry out
The lines.
the
yeah.
lines. There's a condenser unit that causes water to sit and pool when you're using the air conditioner. So you guys have gone all summer using the air conditioner. That has created a nice little pool of water that has just sat and not fully drained.
Yeah, it's not in a place where it's going to dry up right away.
Yeah, and what happened is now it's getting to be winter. It's not ever warm enough to dry that out naturally by the car sitting in a parking lot. So let's say it's 100 degrees outside. You park that car. that little open area that's underneath your cowl vent is able to dry out slowly over the course of a week of 100-degree temps. But you've now had maybe a week of, like us here in Boise, 40, 50, 60-degree temps. That water never fully dries out.
And I bet
So-
it gets a lot worse if he turns on the recirculation.
Right.
button.
So what it's trying to do is pull in that stinky air. So what you need to do is turn on the car, run it for a while with the heat on to help dry up and get that internal temperature hot enough and get the vents hot enough to try and clean that out. Or remove the cowl from your vehicle and stick a vacuum in there and suck out all that water. Or get a bioenzymatic cleaner like a Biozyme or bioenzymatic, something like even Terminator would work for this too. Spray that in the cowl vent near your wiper blades.
Yeah.
Spray that product in there. It will sit and help kill some of that bacteria because that's what you're smelling is the mold
Yeah.
and the bacteria in that cowl.
Yeah.
So
Good,
that's how you do it.
good advice. So
Yeah.
we got Luke Berge says, my layover is in Denver. Good luck, Luke. Flying into Denver is a bumpy ride. Ask
Yeah.
me how I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, there's
Denver
no there's
coming and
no like
going.
real
Ugh.
fun place to go in Denver.
No, you have that.
just-
It's a flat stretch, right?
No, like Denver proper, the city is great, but the
No,
problem
but
is the
the layover.
airport is so far away
Well,
from
and
No, I'm
everything.
just saying he's going to be staying at the hotel at the airport
Oh,
for
yeah.
4 hours. He's not going to leave.
But
Luke
There's
won't leave,
not a lot
but-
going
And
on there.
once you're in the area where your gates are, there's not a whole lot of fun there. Outside of the gates, it's kind of nice once you get outside those gates or above that train level.
Yeah.
But once you get to the level where the terminals are, it's
Yeah.
I mean, you can go ride the train, take a look,
Yeah.
go wander around. There's a lot of cool stuff to see in the Denver airports.
I will say,
They have airplanes hanging
look,
from the
look
ceiling
online
in some
for like
spots.
conspiracy theory stuff.
They
It's
have some
always
cool
fun to
stuff.
look around. It's
Yeah.
a weird airport.
It is a
It's
weird airport.
Weird
There's a
airport.
lot of different food options, but realistically, man, I stayed there for 2 hours with Phil Yu from Detailer's Domain,
Yeah.
and we just went to one of the top floors where there was nobody, and then just sat up there and hung out for an hour and talked. You know, so you can find a place to like get away for a little bit, but yeah, other than that, there's not much to do at Denver.
Hans Closen says, why are clay discs always 5-inch and not 3-inch?
I don't know.
That's a good
Hans,
question.
That's a good
I'm
question.
guessing maybe the size of your hand. I don't know.
Yeah.
Brian G says another question: Clarity Coat. Do you have to be certified to put that on, like Optimum stuff? And what's the difference between Clarity Coat and Optimum's sprayable coating?
Well, first of
Nothing.
all, it's not a coating; it's a PPF. So
Yeah, it's a
specifically,
PPF.
it's a paint
PPF.
protection film. So
Yeah.
when it's on, when it's all done, said and done, it's sprayed on. It becomes a peelable film, which is not like a coating, obviously,
Yeah.
where a ceramic coating would be a hard layer that just stays put.
So if I can say this correctly, I don't know if this is
Yeah.
a bad thing to say, but basically Optimum was using the same I guess the same blend
Technology,
that Clarity Coat
yeah.
is using, and so I think they had licensed that or something. So
Yeah.
Clarity Coat is its own brand now, and it's you need a paint booth to spray it is what you need, and so you
It's
pretty much
applied
would have
like
to
paint.
have a paint setup to be able to do it. And if you do, it's pretty amazing. So.
Yeah.
Christopher Beard
It's
says,
impressive
finished
stuff.
my first month of the new job, and I love it. It's awesome. Happiest I've been in a long time. Great company to work for, and I'm excited for a long-term career with them. Can't wait to great things with here. Yep, that makes sense. in
Yeah,
the last
I was
sentence.
just
All right.
like, huh?
Future Prison, that's awesome, Chris. Future Prison says, I must be one of the 4 people that enjoyed the SEMA vid. Thank you
Thanks,
so much for liking it. Hopefully commenting.
Share it with a friend.
Please, it needs help. Rectangle says, just picked up some gloss coat for my truck. How long should I wait till I top it off with OptiSeal? I would wait a couple hours if you can. I know I think it's like technically an hour. I like to give it a couple hours, or if you're not in any rush, you could wait till the next day. So like, for example, what we would typically do is if I'm doing a gloss coat job for a friend, a customer, whatever I'm doing, I will wait to OptiSeal it until the customer shows up, or at least 5 minutes before the customer shows up. And Levi does the same thing.
Yeah.
So you gloss coat it. A customer says they're on their way. Lay down that OptiSeal because it's going to look a little shinier at that time because it's pretty much instant satisfaction. And it also means that it gives the coating more time to cure on its own. We got West Deporter says, however long it takes to cure, maybe 1 to 2 hours. I haven't used gloss coat yet. You're right, Wes. Rectangle says, also, I might have missed it. Sorry if I did. But will WOWO's products be available in gallons? Would like to add some to my business. Great question. yes, they will be available in gallons, but they will
Aw.
not be available until probably after January.
My
Yep.
fun answer was going to be no, they won't be available in gallons.
Okay, so
Because
it's 5.
you'll actually be
Yeah,
getting
it's actually
more.
5 liters,
5
so it's
liters.
1.3
Yeah,
gallons. Is what you'll be getting.
1.3 gallons.
So you're
So.
getting more
even
product than just about anybody else that's carrying gallons.
Yeah.
But
So,
it'll be priced to compete
Yep.
with other gallons.
yeah.
We got Luke
so-
Berge says, I got to work. See y'all later.
See you, Luke.
If we can scroll down here.
Tyler Fielder is a detox with PNS about becoming a supplier still in the plans for December. We are selling stuff up front at our shop, but now looking to expand that and add a store to our web. So is a detox with PNS Keith about becoming a supplier? I don't know what that means, but
I think he was seeing the other detox where you were talking with Keith. We did those all at the same time
Yeah.
a few weeks back. But, we didn't have any others planned at the time. We do have Keith helping us with the project
maybe he's
here.
asking about a future becoming a supplier, doing
Oh.
an event with Keith.
maybe.
Possibly. Yeah, we didn't do it while he was here, but yeah, you can if you want to sell products from PNS, you just reach out to
Yeah.
just reach out to
Just
Keith.
ask him.
He does the business development stuff for them. He'll be able to handle that for you. So,
Yeah.
Adam Blackwell, thanks for all the help already, Dane. You guys all rock. Udamelli, can we dilute optimum wax?
Udamelli.
No. Adam Thurman, all right. Explain contact angle and surface tension in one sentence each, and go.
Levi.
Contact angle basically is this is a water droplet, right? I want something flat that I can build on. All right. This Kleenex box here is your paint surface, right? So you want water to do this, right? So it's sitting like this on the surface. You don't want water to be sitting like this.
Where
That
it's
means you
almost
have
flat.
no protection, right? That's when the water pools on the surface. You want full beads to be able to sit. So your contact angle is described by actually how much circular
That's
of the bead is on the water. The water's in a perfect circle, a perfect sphere.
What are you looking for?
So that's kind of how that works.
So just imagine how
They're in the
mushed the
drawers
water
over there.
droplet is on the
yeah.
surface.
So the lower the contact angle, the more
They're not in
squished it
there.
is. The
More
higher the
complete
contact
yeah.
angle, the more complete the
Over there.
circle is. A perfect circle rolls.
Is there one
It
in
doesn't
here?
stay on the surface. So
So, yeah, and then you get to that level where, okay, so if you want to hold up that tissue box again, Levi.
okay. This is
So-
There's one in
so-
there.
super scientific.
So
I love
so
it.
here's your so this is your bead on your water, right?
Yeah.
And then people say, well, what's the difference between beading and sheeting, right? So when this bead, right, is sitting here above the surface, oh, and then you have another bead next to it, right? It rolls up, and that turns into now a bigger bead, and then that bead rolls into another bead, creating a large body of water that slides off, being hydrophilic at that point.
Oh my goodness.
Boom.
It's almost like they're the same thing.
Does that make sense? Like it gets so heavy that it all falls off.
Yeah, it's
Because
ones.
people say, what's the difference between beading and sheeting? Well, the sheeting will happen. It's
because you have a
called
higher surface
called
tension.
it's called pooling.
Poolin'
as-
wash.
Yeah, as Junkman would say.
Poolin' rinse.
Yeah, pooling dry.
But no,
pooling to
I
pooling
love the
dry.
people who get into like arguments on like, well, I prefer beating over sheeting, and it goes in this back and forth
Yeah.
argument of
All
just.
right,
ugh.
we got DJ Matkins says glare polish. What's comparable with this glass
Plexin.
and what do you think about it? It's an interesting product.
Huh.
I'm not sure, Levi. That's you.
Hold on, I got
Yeah.
Chris Beard texting me too.
Oh.
Well,
Moving along to
uh,
Rectfadel,
who
said
said something
so
inappropriate.
inappropriate it
Yeah.
had
So
to be retracted.
DJ Madkins, what's comparable with this glass Plexin, and what do you think about it? It's an interesting product. Basically, it's a glass coating.
Okay.
It's comparable to any other glass coating on the market. The difference is they promote a higher hydrophobic property in the sense, like if you watch some of their videos and things, they're the only ones that are actually actively promoting a glass coating. They're not promoting a paint coating. They're not promoting a wheel coating. They're not promoting an interior coating. They're promoting a glass-specific coating.
Yeah.
So it's different where all the other coating companies are kind of promoting their paint coatings, and then, oh, by the way, we have a glass coating. So that's really the only difference. My guy, Matt, at my old shop that now runs Lupo Auto Spa, he installs glass parency. He likes it. So
We got Red Eye Andy says, Anthony, great idea to have Obsessed Garage do a Civic Si giveaway. I hope it comes through. Now, a question for you. Has he actually mentioned that in a video that I recommended to do that, or are you going off of the last main show podcast where we were talking about SEMA and I told him to do that? Because
he did tell him to do that.
I told Matt to do that, and I said it's going to be a huge hit if you do an EM1 Civic Si giveaway and you do it all up. I think it'd be super fun and
people
really
go
affordable
nuts.
to do. And he was all about it. So I really want him to follow through with that. I think he would have an absolute blast doing it. And I think people would just die over it. I think
I'd love to see him kind of overdo it like he did with the S2K, though, where
Yeah.
you take a car that like was once relatively affordable and turn it into this insane thing. But
I hope he does
fun.
it. I just don't know if he's talked about that on any of his own videos to get people's thoughts. We got Rectangle says, is the multi-purpose terry towel safe on paint? Yes, it is. Yeah. So it's an 80-20 blend.
Yeah.
But the all-purpose terry is still paint safe. The car wash towel, which is also an 80-20, 16x27, very paint safe. We're not saying that 80-20 is not paint safe, but in a more ideal world, 70-30 would be more ideal.
I would say 80-20 is where paint safe starts.
Yes. Great.
yep,
I like that,
exactly.
Dane.
Great one.
Here we go. So Hans Closen says, big hug for Mama McMurray, power through. We got Brian Galvin says, best and most efficient way to charge customers doing mobile detailing. Cash, chip reader, or online.
Well, cash is king always.
Well, it depends on what kind of
But
business you're running.
realistically, you want to be able to take everything. That's probably the best bet.
Yeah.
You can do Venmo, you can do Cash App, you can do Apple Pay. You basically create the ability to always be paid.
I was going to say
It's the easiest way.
A big appeal to me in that instance would be digital currency because I wouldn't want to be walking around with a bunch of cash. That's just
Dane
me,
doesn't
though.
like watching.
I don't like,
love.
I don't
walking
like
around
carrying
with a lot of
cash.
cash. That's like
I
my
don't like
favorite
I
thing.
never have cash.
Like when I sold the
That's
the
your
little
generation,
truck,
though. That's your
I
generation.
love having a big old fat
money
wad of
clip.
feria.
You
no,
like
see, I
Bring that
become
bad boy
an
out.
absolute like.
Pull off some, rip off a couple
What is it?
$100
Is it-
bills.
Is it Hasta la Feria? Is what he says? Give
that's
show,
I am
show me the
never
money.
Hey,
more
pasa en la
nervous
feria.
than when I'm
Pasa-
walking
pasa en
around
la
with a
feria
bunch
is what
of
he says.
cash.
Pasa?
Hector says "pasa en la feria."
I do not ever want to be
That's the
walking
nicest.
around with a
There's
wad of
nothing
cash
finer.
In my pocket.
My favorite
The
is
most
to
I have is, like,
actually.
a
Here's
20.
what I like to
That's
do,
why
guys.
I hate when I get birthday money. I'm like, oh my
no, like
God.
somebody
So-
like catched it, and you're just like
Don't give
everybody's
me- I
looking.
want
like,
a
This is
check.
something that I like
Duh.
doing. When I got my HELOC, first thing I did was cash it all out, and then walk around with a brick of
That's
cash.
so not safe.
Super fun. I like to put it in my jacket pocket, and I pull out
my God.
Yeah.
a brick of three $10,000 bills, something
Wow.
like that.
Yeah.
And then I like to divvy out a couple hundreds here and there for
You just
everybody.
put it all in a big
Something
vest
fun.
like
I'm
Breaking
just kidding.
Bad.
I'm just
oh my
kidding.
God,
That is not true.
that is
Yeah.
such a
No, but
Don't do
I
that.
worked
Don't do
there.
that.
We all know. I'm sure we've all met people. No, maybe you guys haven't because you're
Who
younger.
are a little bit scared of
No,
digital things,
no,
and they
no,
like their
not even
keep
that.
it under their
No.
mattress, to hole in the
No,
floor, or
no,
something.
not even that. They just don't have a bank account.
And sometimes
Yeah.
But-
it's tied to that
No,
cautious nature.
no,
we'll
not even
say,
that.
kindly.
They're lazy.
Or that.
Yeah.
No reason. They don't understand why you need a bank account anyway. It doesn't make sense. They just want to take your
and
money.
then they never develop
so
credit.
yeah, but they get their tax returns back.
Yeah.
Favorite thing they love to do: take it down to the money tree, cash that bad boy out,
Yeah.
and then wrap it in a rubber band,
Yeah.
and then work off of that for the following week until
Yeah.
they've blown all of it.
So cousin Eddie, right, who
super
would
great.
who would basically dig up he'd dig in holes into his yard in Vegas, right, in Vegas vacation, in Folgers cans,
Yeah.
and he would hide the money that way. That's a great example. Fun fact, right? My father, that lives down in California,
Still does
Um,
that? Money in the backyard?
when he was married to my mom, right, when this is before I was born,
He used to do that.
he used to hide money from my mom because
Yeah.
he didn't want
Oh my
my
God.
mom to know how much money he made.
Right.
He had $10,000 in cash in the attic, right, of my parents' house.
Did the
Um,
moths eat it?
Nope, house burned down.
Oh, see,
And-
these are the things that
And
can
so
happen.
my
You didn't
mom,
buy a fireproof
so-
safe
I
to
bet
put
you
this
that
money in?
wasn't
So
insured.
what's hilarious is my mom was obviously devastated that the house burned down, right? But apparently my dad was extremely devastated
Right.
and was crying and was like making a huge deal of the house burning
She's
down.
like, "It's okay,
And my
it's
mom's
just
like,
stuff."
my mom's like, yeah, it's just random. It was old crap. We didn't need
Oh,
that stuff in the
wow.
attic anyways. Most of our good stuff we saved. It's okay. And he's like, No, you don't understand. I had $10,000 in the
Okay,
attic.
I just gotta ask: is it bad that there's some super cold, spiteful part of me that says you did that to yourself?
Yeah.
when
Oh,
people
no,
do that?
absolutely.
Like, there's
Absolutely.
just a
Again,
mean
though,
side of me that goes,
I'm confused
you did
to your
that
father's
to yourself.
logic as to why he did not even purchase a safe in
So-
the tendency to prevent a fire, let alone hold $10,000 cash.
So my
It would have
so
literally been like $300.
this is the this is
Right.
I'm all
the
for
this,
That's
helping
the-
people out.
this
but
is the
man,
father that's from Portugal,
I
right? So
know.
I'm pretty sure he's used to
Yeah.
brick houses that don't burn down.
True, true.
So he moves to the old good old U.S. of A. And he's like, these houses burn down here? Yes, we have that happen. and,
Oh,
and those brick
good stuff,
islands from Portugal,
man.
that wasn't really a thing. So.
That's
Man.
That's rough.
Anyways, here we go. So Hans Klosen says, did Wowo's reformulate all their products? I've seen Wowo's products at the Dutch car clean website with the names on bottles and cans. So yes, Hans. So
Not all of them.
not all
But
of them
a
are
number of
reformulated,
them,
but
yes.
a high number were reformulated, obviously rebranded, and then rebottled. So there is new bottles. That was a lot to do with our input here at the Rad Company with
Yep.
getting them set up for the U.S. market. And so it's not to say that the old products are bad. Those are still great products.
No, we had
but
to make things work differently in different environments.
Different
That was the
climates.
biggest thing. Was there were some products that worked great right off the bat. We just changed the bottle. We just said, hey, we got to put it in this kind of
Bless
bottle if we want
you.
to sell it. There were other products that work well in Scotland, work well in parts of Europe, but did not work in Boise, Idaho. So how do we make a product work best for us? That was kind of what our plan was. So we had to try and make sure we could make it work here, and then we had to send it to other parts of the country and make sure it worked in other parts of the country because we have so many different climates.
And not
here.
only are you
So-
trying to make a product that's the best in a given category, you're trying to make it the best for a person to use. Someone who maybe either doesn't have experience using a product, or even if they are experienced, you want it to work for as many people as it possibly can while doing the best job. So that's not as
Well,
easy
and
as
we
going,
wanted to-
these ingredients equal the best thing. It's not as simple as that. You have to
No.
think about the environment that people are using these in, how someone might use way more than they're supposed to, and it still has to work. These guys thought of all those things, and that's where a lot of your input came in.
Thanks, Steve.
Yeah.
So I just really want to stress that to people. There's a difference between just slapping a different name on
Well,
something
and the biggest
putting it
thing
out
was we wanted to make sure that everything worked properly
Yeah, different
in the right
climates, yeah.
environment, because if we're going to be importing an entire brand and helping them make their launch into the United States, we have to do everything we can to make it successful.
Yeah.
And if we just said, yeah, good enough, and we brought everything over, they would run into some issues. People would find that, oh, it doesn't work that well in this part of the country, or, oh, it doesn't work this well here,
Yeah.
or, hey, this product does this and it shouldn't. And a lot of that is just environmental changes that they didn't know because they're
Yeah.
in Scotland. They didn't maybe have those problems in Europe, certain
It's
parts
not
of
something
Europe.
they run into.
But you're trying to make it go to a very large market, to arguably the largest automotive market in the world for
Yeah.
detailing. You need to do everything you can as a company to help push this and give it the best successful launch and
Yeah.
or continued success.
Yeah. We tested and vetted 17 of these products like we do with any other product that we do, and want to make sure that it still has the same impact and the same good positive feedback that we helped when we pushed Bead Maker and things like that.
Exactly.
And so it's the same thing we'll do with every other product that we carry. It's just with this, it's a whole line versus one or two products that we've picked out or close to a whole line. So
Yeah.
we got Illusions Auto says, doesn't Guion make a polish for PPF?
I'm sure they do.
They probably
I don't know.
do. West Porter says, thank you guys. Definitely going to check out Rotafest. Picked up a bunch of stuff. O&R, Optimum Wax, and a clay towel. Think I found my potential niche with rinseless washing, aiming in at a higher end neighborhoods. Too bad I just thought of this now that the weather is bad. Yeah, but hey, you could still do rinseless in all times of the year.
It'll eventually
Um,
get better again.
Levi?
Illusions Auto. I usually buy the Rag Company Monster Green towels. I use Chemical Guy's microfiber wash to clean them, but feel not as soft afterwards, even when with cold water. Any suggestions? Add a half a cup of distilled white vinegar to the bleach port or fabric softener port, or just apply it to the rinse cycle.
Yeah,
that
make
should
a
help.
difference.
Riley asks, will Morgan be going to Mobile Tech with you guys? If so, will she be going after her SV? Possibly. We don't have I literally just made the schedule for the year for next year of some of our events and stuff. We have not dictated as to who's going to what events this year and how we're doing it. We just put it out there around the company as to what events we are scheduled for.
At the very
So-
least, I'm sure that Anthony and I will go there and we'll go see what Tavares is up to over there.
Well,
He's
for a
got something
fact,
to
we
do.
know the three of us are going to Mobile Tech. It's up in the air as to whether
Yeah.
Morgan will join us.
Yeah.
That will be something that we will promote and see if with our bosses as to whether that's something we bring. So
It would be cool though.
If that's something we bring.
if Morgan's something we bring along.
If
Well,
that
Well,
is something
it's
we
fine.
bring.
But we all know
Yeah.
that Jeff also loves Mobile Tech, and
He
so
does.
Jeff does love
And
Mobile
then
Tech.
the other thing too that you have to remember though is that Mobile Tech there is it's not as busy as SEMA, so you don't need anywhere near the amount of team. It's just
No.
a matter of what
It's
kind
more
of shoots.
focused.
Yeah, it's what kind
Well,
of shoots
what we
we
were doing
set
is
up to
making
do.
Morgan take a lot of classes.
Yeah, basically, if you went there, you would be getting like super educated through the whole thing. So
That's a lot of
Would be
work.
kinda
I'd
cool.
love to learn.
While me and Dane are off running through tolls
through Gator
and-
Country,
Yeah,
Gator
we are
country.
in the backwoods
don't get chomped.
of Gator Country. Yeah.
Yep.
Good God.
So we'll see. We'll let you guys know for sure. Especially just stay tuned on the Rag Company Instagram, podcasts, and the live. We'll keep you guys abreast of the situation. So
Yeah.
Some breath.
We got
that's not
Atiba.
what I'm talking about, Morgan. Jeez.
Atiba
No,
Purcell
I was just saying,
says,
keeping them abreast.
"Hey guys, all the way from Trinidad."
Hey,
That's
Atiba.
cool.
All
You know
right.
what? I wonder,
Tobago and
do you
Trinidad.
think he
Yes.
has a how do you say Trinidadian? How do you say the accent? It's Trinidadian.
I'm not even
Trinadian?
going to
Trinadian?
I don't
Is
know.
it
attempt. No, just say Trinidadian. And
Is
leave
it Trinidadian? Is it what?
Sure.
Is that what it is?
Just
but
go with
their
that.
accents. They have the coolest accents.
Great. I like
They
that.
do.
No.
It's like Caribbean, but it's not
Pretty
quite-
dope.
I don't know. So we got
Cool.
Brian Galvin says best detailing courses, schools, 2-day, 3-day programs available.
Nice. So Rennie's is a good one. We are currently working on one that will debut for 2020.
That Levi will be
that I will
running
I'll
and
be teaching, and Anthony will be helping and
Wow.
assisting.
Yeah,
I will be
Um,
holding up PowerPoint presentations via paper.
Via
should be
paper.
pretty cool.
But yeah, so we're working on something here for the Rag Company once we have our new facility finished that we'll be able to host and hold some different training events and classes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But honestly, Rennie's is one of the best. Also, Ivan LaCroix is still kind of scheduling some trainings around
Yeah.
the U.S., so keep an eye on some of his stuff. That's also very
Yeah.
invaluable. Mike Phillips at Auto Geek, still holding road shows and things like that. He puts out a lot of great
Yeah.
information and stuff. Also, the Bigfoot Detailing Academy. Get on the website rupezusa.com and check out some of their events that they're going to be hosting and holding. And they have some 2- and 3-day training events as well that
You'll
are
have
really great.
Jason Rose, Dylan Von Kleist. I mean, you'll have
Yeah.
some really knowledgeable guys in the industry there within a really cool facility.
Yeah.
Well, and I know you
So-
also have like Esoteric in Chicago.
Yeah,
on it.
Esoteric provides training as well, and they do a lot of good stuff. And then,
Yeah.
the boys at Chicago Auto Pros. So there's a lot of resources now. Some really high-end
It's a lot better than
detailing
it
that
used
you
to
can
be.
do. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Mads Hagbird, I just came to say that I support you guys. Much love all the way from Norway. Yeah.
Thank you. I thought it said
Told ya.
Mitch Hedberg for a second.
We
I was
got-
like, oh
we
my
got a
God,
good-
back from the dead.
We got a good following. Oh,
Whoa.
Mama McMurray's back.
Chill.
She says she's
Yes.
still
She's-
listening.
Oh.
Morgan.
She is still listening. I call occasionally, but it's never enough.
Oh.
Miss my girl. Okay, well, how
Aw.
about you just make me more sad?
Oh.
Good work, Mama McMurray.
Oh,
let her
man.
know what's up. She needs to be calling more often. I think you should call her every day when you get off of work, just to say
Wow.
hi.
Every day.
Every day. You don't do anything when you get in your car. You let it warm up, let the airbags fill up. Just give her a call. Say, hey, Mom, just letting my airbags fill up.
Okay.
What's happening? How's your day?
Wow.
Good? Cool. All right. Talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.
My mom's, she's always at, all
It's all right.
these
You can leave a message.
things.
Leave a
She's a
voicemail.
busy lady.
Leave a voicemail. Adam Thurman, the SEMA vid was rad. Still sad. I didn't make it out. That's too
Oh.
bad, brother.
We still got
Uh,
another one coming.
What's up, guys? Hope everyone is having fun. How's it going, Fraser?
Hey.
Adam Thurman, Brian Galvin, Rupes, Esoteric Car Care quickly come to mind. There you go.
Yeah.
Woes, the closer you get to 180 degrees is ideal for contact angle. You'll never get it, but it's fun to try.
And there it
So
is.
there you go. And then he says bearing and sheeting can be one.
think beating.
Beating and sheeting can be one and the same, but different chemicals can produce hydrophobicity and hydrophilicity. The reason most products need is because that's what the market asks for. So, Hans Klosen,
Excellent points.
Levi, is your old shop
Speed.
still operational? Yes, technically, under a different name. So, the actual
It is
facility,
a shell of what
Hawks
it, what it
Detail.
once used to be.
No,
It
but my
is
shop.
a
So my
shell.
old shop,
Yeah.
Hawks Detail. I sold back to the investors. The investors had sold it to somebody else, and they changed the name to something different. So, in honesty, like my equipment is at this other shop under a new name. Now, my team and my crew of guys that worked under me, are over at Lupo Auto Spa. So they started their own shop with their own friend, Drake Beaudry, at Lupo Motors, who you've seen on Detox. And they are doing very well. Matt and JJ and Trevor are all working great. And Jared comes in and helps every once in a while, helps them out. So my team, the guys that worked with me, trained with me, and detailed cars with me day in, day out, have their own building that they work at called Lupo Auto Spa. You can check them out at lupomotors.com. You can check out Instagram, Lupo Motors, and see what they're up to every day.
So basically, if you're asking the question, it's either the physical location or the actual people
Yeah.
who made up the shop.
Yeah. So
that
the
you're looking
physical
one or the
location is
other.
still working under
Yeah.
a new name, under new ownership, and all that kind of stuff. But all my equipment, I mean, I could walk in and find the polishers that I used to use, and my shampooers and my pressure washer are probably all still being
Yeah.
utilized.
Yeah.
So,
Love that.
what
Willow
was-
says lots of old Weequats.
What?
I don't know.
Lots of old Weequats were hydrophilic because it's actually faster to dispense water on the surface if it's hydrophilic.
Okay, that must be Scottish.
Okay, Adam Thurman says Matt
Matt talked
Talk.
about it.
talked about it in
Okay.
one of his
That was
weekly
hard to figure
podcasts
out.
about doing the SI. He said it wasn't a bad idea.
So maybe
Boom.
he did
Well,
listen.
I really hope. What were people's reactions? Did
I
people
mean,
seem
Pretty great,
excited
pretty
about
great.
that?
Idea.
Anthony has like a vested
Yoshi
interest.
says, I brought up the idea of the Civic SI to Matt in his last live stream and said you cornered him for about 20 minutes about it. He said it might happen, but most likely not.
Oh,
Well, I'll just go.
well, that's just kind of
I will just go off myself. Okay, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
Um,
DJ Matkin says glass plexin from Glare is not a glass coating. It's specifically for paint substrate. It only lasts a week on glass substrates. It's a design to fill marring and scratching. It's 5-year-old product. Thank you. That I thought maybe it was just a typo for glass parency.
Yeah.
So, thank you for clearing that up, DJ. Adam, Brian, Galvin, cash first, always. I love doing Venmo. I've gone away from credit cards due to fees, although minimal. The costs were adding up. I never take personal checks.
Yeah.
So I used to take personal checks, but I didn't care.
if they were blank or not.
Yeah, I liked them blank.
But that
no,
was a generational thing too.
no, I'd take checks because it was generational. I'd have customers that were still, that's the way they paid. And
It's
you're
the
just not
70-year-old
gonna
lady
get
at the grocery store writing.
She's going to write a
yeah.
check. Yeah. Most people would just pay card, no problem. And I had a Banner Bank provided me with a credit card app that was bank specific. So it would just basically go into my bank. I didn't have to pay
Sure.
extra fees. I didn't have to use Square or anything like that. It was specific to my bank. So it would just go right into my business account, which was nice. But yeah, get paid however you can and make it as easy as possible, because the worst thing you want to do is have someone walk up and they're like, can I Venmo you money? And you're like, no. And they're like, oh, okay. Do you have a credit card machine? And you're like, no.
Yeah. If
I
you
only
limit
take
your
cash.
options, you're limiting your customers.
Yeah.
big time.
Most people don't walk around with cash, as we've evidenced. Dane hates cash. He doesn't even like it.
Yeah.
He lights it on fire if he sees it. He doesn't even want
bad.
it around. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's like,
I
put
feel
it
like
in
Dane likes to
put
pay
it in
with
digital
quarters.
form and give it to me
Only
post
to
haste.
spite someone.
So
I understand.
that kind of
Yeah.
stuff, just make sure you get paid easiest way. So
yeah.
Tyler says, looking forward to meeting the crew at Mobile Tech in Orlando. I've been following
Oh
and
my
ordering
God,
since
dear
the
me.
videos in Levi's shop.
Oh man.
Whoa, does time fly, lol. Thanks for the
Wow.
content. Been a huge help to my shop.
Excellent.
Detail
Thanks,
Guys Auto Spa, about an hour west of Chicago. There you go.
right
Yeah.
on. Yeah.
Hans, yes, Guion has a PPF polish and PPF coating. Rectangle says he just received a package from the Rag Company. How exciting!
Yeah.
Nice.
Chris,
Party.
Chris Weiss, are you guys doing a Black Friday sale? Yes.
We are.
Hans, I'm going to go meet Themo next week, and seeing Patrick, I might steal all their Wowo's products.
Oh gosh, I know we need
gonna be
we
fun.
need
Way to
to
warn him.
Gotta
warn
keep that
the
stuff on
boys there
lock
because we know
down.
Hans is relentless and he'll
gets
do
what
what
he
he
wants.
has to.
He's like Luke. He wants things he can't have.
Hopefully, Patrick did
Don't
not
we
grab
all?
a George from the Rupes booth because Hans might steal
Yeah,
that.
that's true.
So
So we got Kevin Rodriguez 0823 says, "Hey Dane, would video editing be a good side gig to make extra money or not really worth it?"
It depends on if you follow the Ivan model, which is efficiency. If you're like me and you're kind of a slow editor, you're not going to make much
Dane's
money.
never gonna make
it's
any life-
not. It's not
make a
going to work
living
out
off of
for
it.
you. I'm very proud of my final products, but at the same time, I'm not the fastest. I used to be quicker. When I did
So-
wedding videos and stuff for people, it was a good way to make money on the side as a simple side thing that you do. You don't need a lot of equipment to do it if you're handy with stuff,
Yeah.
but it definitely depends on how efficient you can
yeah.
be.
Brando makes money on
Yeah,
doing that.
it can be
Tons.
done, but it's a bit of a
Super
hustle.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's cool about Brandon? So Brandon, right?
Brandon's
not
fast.
only does he
He's
do,
pretty
not
fast.
only is he fast and really well off, but being able to do his job and make his own schedule, right?
Mm.
He is able to wake up at noon.
Yeah.
He can actually have a beer right
Yeah.
when he wakes up
And he does. I don't know if
and-
you saw his story today.
and begin
Like,
editing,
literally.
right? And he's
Oh, no.
happily there to greet Morgan at 5 when Morgan comes home to say, "Hey, I'm halfway through my day and I'm already a couple beers deep." And Morgan says, "So
Wow.
are you?"
Okay.
Is that all you've done today? Or?
Yeah.
Dane, is this how you feel?
Well, this is what happens if Dane stays home all day drinking beer. Yes.
Brandon, we love you. We kid and we joke. You do great
So
work.
the point is, it's like Dane said, it's efficiencies.
Yeah.
If you can actually make money and not spend a god awful amount of time trying to edit a video for someone, and you're actually making it, you got to remember it's the number of hours you're going to spend editing that video
And here's the thing.
to the money you're going to get paid. So if someone's going to pay you $200 to make a video and you've spent 20 hours,
It's exactly like detailing.
really
If you're
not
going to
worth
work
it.
with somebody, get it cleared up front if you're working by the hour or if you're working on a project fee, because that's going to determine how
Yeah.
stuff gets done and how long it's going to take.
didn't Brandon say when we were at SEMA, he's like, this is what I charge for this length of time? Like a 30-second or a minute or a
Yeah.
5-minute video. He has a certain set amount.
Know your
Yeah.
worth and don't
So-
go below that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like when I was starting out, I was doing stuff for free and cheap just to be able to like get the jobs to then show
Dane
people.
just liked being on set.
I just
He
you
did
know,
like being on set.
I just
lots
you
of
know,
cool things
worked-
to
I mean,
see.
there was a lot of job
Lots
shadowing
of
when I was in
different
college.
kind of things to
lot of
film
jobs-
too. You got to
job-
think
yeah.
about
Yeah.
the variety of jobs.
Right.
Hey, if I don't, who's going to wrangle those cables?
That's
So,
right.
Just
Man,
making
that
sure.
is
But
so inspirational,
Yes.
Dane. I love that you're so.
yes, it's true.
Christopher
Open.
Beard, have you guys gotten on to Disney Plus? I got a year membership for free with Verizon Unlimited.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of rewatching movies, but I'm really enjoying the stuff I'm watching on there. Yes.
I
Yeah.
got it
We're
too.
all on it.
So
except
I
for
watched
Morgan.
Heavyweights
No,
the
I
other
am.
night,
No, I don't.
and
I was like, wait.
I love Heavyweights.
Oh, that's a
and
good show. I remember that one.
It's
the
one.
Fat
It's
Camp.
it is the Fat Camp.
Yeah.
And so, Dane, do you like Heavyweights?
That's the one where there's the bus and they take the number on the side of occupancy and they scratched out and put 23 instead of 25 because it's back.
Yeah. It's a great movie.
Oh.
Okay.
Something
All
that I
right.
grew up
So,
with.
Tyler Felder, Levi, tips for staying busy in the winter. We're in northern Illinois, hour west of Chicago.
Yikes.
7.5 years in business, almost 2 years into the current shop. Was mobile and out of my house prior to opening the shop. I just did a rebrand, new logo, looking to reach out to prior clients
You
and
just
market to
crushed
new
that.
ones. Tips.
was
Big one, just get active on your Facebook page. Make sure that you're pushing towards customers that actually want to spend money. Reach out to your friends and family, maybe offer some discounts. One thing I always did was try and do gift certificates or gift cards with a 1-year expiration date and try and sell those during Christmas because it's something that people think about. They don't know what to do last minute. Stocking stuffers, things like that. People will come and spend. You'd be amazed how many people come spend $200. Create some small packages that are going to be easy on you if they ever do come to bring them back because it's about a 50-50 turnover that people don't actually get those used. So that's one. Second, I would recommend reaching out to a dealership. Dealerships are great for year-round work, but make sure you can handle it. Tell them what you probably could do every week. Here in Boise, all my retail work dried up from basically end of November till mid-February. There'd be 2 months to 10 weeks there where I'd have no retails. No one would call me to come in and get their car detailed. So I relied heavily for those 10 weeks on the dealership cars that I had to do that work. And so it worked because my guys still had a job and I still had a job, even though, maybe we weren't killing it like we were in the summertime. Our winters were still really good. And my guys still had money for Christmas presents and all that kind of stuff. So it was never like a major drop off. We'd try and make it a little more fun during the winter.
You were just able to plan for it.
Yeah, we just planned for it. So one of the things is get with the dealerships, try and do some of their used cars. And you can do this pretty well if you think about it right. Look at the quality of the used cars that are coming through. If there is a cheesy parking lot, like a dealership that's cars are sub 10,000 for used cars, probably stay away from that. You're going to find out that these guys are going to buy $500 cars at the junkyard or at the auction and have you work on them, and it's going to be a pain in the butt, and it's going to be a lot of work.
And they're not paying a whole lot.
One of the accounts I had that was really good was there was a local dealership in Boise that liked. They only charged one price. They were like, we're doing $120 on every car. That's it. But they didn't want tire dressing on the cars. They didn't want any exterior dressing on the cars. They wanted to make sure that the cars were clean and shiny. So 90% of the time they required just a quick one step. And I'd one step it and car wax it, and it was done. If it was white or silver, all we'd do is clay wax it. That was it. We didn't have to do anything else to the outside.
So easy.
And the interiors were 90% of the time always very clean. That necessitated just like a quick vacuum and a quick blowout. They didn't want the interiors crazily dressed. So easy. We were able to just take a bucket of O&R and a towel and clean everything and wipe everything out. The leather was about the only thing we actually had to work on some of the cars. So I was able to break up the timing on that 120. I would tell people, 150 to 200 for a dealer job. But these guys said, well, we're not going to do this. We're not going to do this. And we're not going to do this. And it was
That's
like,
awesome.
Okay, easy. I can do 120 on you. And 90% of the time they sold Corvettes and BMWs.
Huh.
So 90% of the cars coming in were Corvettes and BMWs, which was easy.
Yeah.
The other lot that I really loved doing work for was the BMW dealership.
Oh, really? Yeah.
And I would do all their certified pre-owned used because that's what they were big on.
Yeah.
And those cars,
They're already in
most
decent
of them
shape.
are lease returns that they'd pick
Yeah.
up from other dealerships, and people were already cleaning them before they deliver them. So they
Nice.
would send me a clean car to detail.
That's
So
a good gig.
and in the winter, if you can pick up 10 of those a week, that's great. At $150 a pop, and just get them nice. Also, sometimes I gave them another plan like, hey, 200, we'll do this on them. 90% of the time, they always pick the $200 one. And so I could easily bill out $200 a car every week, doing 10 to 20 cars of theirs, just as side work.
Yeah.
So it's definitely worth it to do that. So the key is just making sure your timing, but you can make some money on that. So that's it. Tyler says, considering using a reverse osmosis system for a shop instead of a DI tank. Thoughts? We don't have much iron at all in our water, but TDS is high. Really, it just depends on what you're planning on using it for and if you need it. I didn't have a need for reverse osmosis or soft water or anything like that. I was washing all my cars in my shop anyway.
We have
were
hard
using
water here,
O&R,
too.
and I had really hard water, but I didn't have a need for it. Yeah, I thought it'd be fun to have. It wasn't going to make
The
a
O&R
difference.
helped with
Yeah.
pretty much all that.
Hans says he wants to buy the shirt off your body, Anthony.
Oh, my.
Well, it
It's adorable.
smells amazing. I'm
My God.
wearing.
I think he wants an extra large.
The blue ones just didn't sell as well as the black
We
ones.
still
did.
have a bunch.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
larges available, Hans.
They
Just pick
exist.
one up.
Let's see. So here we go. So we got Adaba Purcell says, "What is the best apps for video editing?"
Premiere Pro CC is awesome, and you can do. That's what we
Well, if
use
he's,
for a lot
if
of our
he's using
stuff.
an app, if he's using
But
an
if he's
app
using-
within his phone.
Well, but you're assuming by app he means phone. Sometimes people just say app when they mean a program
Oh,
these
wow.
days.
Yeah.
So I
Program.
mean, Final Cut.
Wow.
Final Cut, if you're not used to the way Final Cut used to be, the
Yeah.
newer Final Cut is way different than it used to be. When I was growing up, Final Cut was very different, more like Premiere is.
The Final
But
Cut.
then Final Cut got turned into iMovie at
It
some
has- it
point,
is
and then it just
iMovie.
morphed into like a more advanced iMovie. I did not like the layout, but to people who are more of I just want to do simple things, like that seems to make people happy, I guess, but it's not my forte. For more like classically trained video editors, I much prefer Adobe Premiere.
So Premiere's pretty much the GOAT. It's the most intuitive. If you're doing everything off your phone, an easy app to look into. It's called Video Shop.
Oh,
It's very easy to use. It's $1. It's totally worth spending the dollar on it because you can do some decent editing within that app, and it exports in pretty good settings. Thomas Kirby says it's dark 5:40 here, so turning on the headlights and heading home. Thanks for the Q&A and have a safe time with the family and friends. I'm thankful for TRC.
Oh,
Thanks.
thanks,
Have a
Kirby.
good
We
one,
appreciate it.
Appreciate you tuning in, man. We have Rectangle says, how do I store my unopened gloss coat?
Han says Yvonne did a video about taking the air out of the syringe to store it. Rectangle answered his own question. Thanks, Hans. I'll look for it. And then Tyler says we store gloss coat in the fridge. Yeah, so let the air out. Rectangle. Put your thumb over it. Depress the plunger. Let it out the air. Put it on again. You want to let as much air out as possible from the syringe. That's the best way to store your gloss coat. And then Tyler's right. You can put it in the fridge. It helps keep it stable a lot longer. So is that
Cool.
where we're at? Tim, are we at the bottom?
That is the bottom.
Wow.
Well, we got
15,
about
14 minutes to
left.
go.
Yeah.
We can tell
Um,
ghost stories now.
I don't know if I
So
want to
what
tell
are you
ghost
guys
stories.
So seriously, what are you guys doing for Thanksgiving next week?
Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Dane's already got the sign-up sheet from his mom about what he's supposed to bring for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Are
I
you
heard
guys
them
just having
talking
a
about that.
family thing?
It's over at my
Thanksgiving?
aunt and uncle's house. We'll be getting the family
Which aunt and
together. Gwen and Bob.
I love
I
Gwen.
love Gwenny.
Yep.
Aunt Gwen's the best. She's
No, it'll
Very
be fun.
sweet.
It'll be nice. It's up at their house, and just get the family together. Liz is gonna make deviled eggs. We're gonna bring them
Ooh.
over.
Oh.
It's gonna be a good
that's
time.
actually so that is Liz's
Yeah.
expertise
It's her
is
forte.
deviled eggs.
Specialty.
So she has made deviled eggs for several parties that I have gone to, and I haven't had just one, not two. I've had about 6 of her
See,
deviled eggs.
anybody who has them, they can't stop at just one.
And I wonder what the magic. I think there's a little bit of paprika on there, but if I remember right.
The process
That's
she
a
does it
normal
with
thing.
is like it's interesting because it's not the way I learned how to make them originally.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's cool. I don't want to spoil it. That's half
Okay.
the fun.
All right.
Oh
Yeah,
man.
so-
Morgan, what are you
It's-
doing?
Yeah, it's a little special.
I don't know yet. Well, I'll be going.
I'm pretty sure Mama McMurray wants you there.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
But she basically can't eat the things that people make for Thanksgiving. She can't
Aw.
eat mashed potatoes. You know, like a lot of the ingredients are things that she doesn't really eat
Potatoes
anymore.
and milk
Starchy stuff.
Yeah.
and
Are
butter.
you
Gluten,
bringing- well,
dairy?
Are you bringing
pretty
Brandon
much.
over to your parents for Thanksgiving?
I don't know yet.
Okay. All right.
That's kind of
Well, it's
a.
kind of like a family fun
Oh.
thing, and I think
Wow.
Brandon would like to be involved in that.
Well, we'll just have to see when we get there.
Oof.
Maybe he'll
Okay.
have
Are-
to go to his mom's house.
Oh,
Well,
no.
you've been together for a couple of years now. It's about time you start having Thanksgivings together.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't that what's pretty normal?
Seems like
yeah,
that's
yeah.
not
Well,
happening.
Carly and I, we like to trade off every year. We do
Yeah.
we do Carly's family, then we do my family, then we do Carly's family, then we do my family. Those are kind of the things we do. We kind of bounce back and forth
Yeah,
every year. This is the first year. Technically, it's my dad's year
yeah.
where we are breaking tradition.
Really? Well, because you are.
Last
you,
year
you
we went
guys,
down
are,
to
you guys are
Utah.
taking a hiatus, is what you're doing.
Yeah, yeah. Last year we went to
Yeah.
Utah and did Thanksgiving down there. This year, we're gonna just stay home. But it's the first year my mom is actually gonna come over. So I kind of was. Part of me wants to cook. The other part of me
Yeah.
doesn't want to spend the money to cook. I'd rather just buy
Yeah.
pizza. So
Yeah.
that's kind of it. So
Yeah.
Anthony,
Yeah. Well, thanks for asking. So, so obviously I'm gonna be spending Thanksgiving with my wife,
Mhm.
Katie. Been together for several years now. So
Right,
we actually
right.
had our first couple Thanksgivings together
Oh,
in our first
By
couple of years of
yourselves?
being together. No, with
Okay.
family. So
Oh,
she came
lovely.
over to my parents' house
oh,
and
it was nice of you to
they
invite her.
loved her. So,
No,
Um,
they didn't invite her.
but basically. I think what we're doing, I think we're doing the split, unfortunately, to where we're doing the half day split where you
yeah.
where you
See,
jump.
You
that's-
guys get the morning,
I
afternoon.
know,
You guys get
I
the
know.
No, you got to break that. You got to tell your
Yeah.
family. You go, look, Mom, we're going to visit with
Yeah.
Katie's family this year. You got to take the trip. Then the next year you do your mom's
Oh,
Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
and that it's just gonna have to be. You're gonna have to do it because it's gonna drive you crazy.
So
Because if you have,
Just letting you know.
yeah,
2 years ago, we went to Arizona, and that
Yeah.
was a great thing. I loved going down, just going somewhere
Yeah.
else, which was
Yeah.
really fun. But this year, we're doing the split where I think we're going over to grandparents, and I think we're doing my parents, and
It's too much.
and
man.
it's here's the problem that's hard,
That's
right?
why I'm gonna take a nap and I'll be thinking about you.
So here's the thing that's hard,
in
right?
my
'Cause
pajamas, going.
and
Oh, it sucks to be.
I
Anthony
think you
Fisher
guys
today.
can relate to me, right? So here's the deal. You have your old school Thanksgiving foods, right? You have your old school people that say, hey, Thanksgiving needs to consist of this, and this,
cranberry sauce,
and it can never change, right? It's always got to be turkey. It's always got to be ham. It's always got to be this, right? And then there's the other half of the family that says, well, why does Thanksgiving have to be that? Can't we do something like, pizza bites? Can we do, fun stuff? Shrimp? Can we do
Chinese takeout.
Oh, Carly and I were like, can we do teppanyaki?
Yeah,
Ooh.
like
But they're closed. We called Kyoto to find out if they're going to be open on Thanksgiving.
Like can't we do those other things? Well, no, because those aren't Thanksgiving foods. Well, Thanksgiving isn't about the foods. Thanksgiving is about being there around family and being thankful for having that time together. And so it's weird. So and the problem is we have two families that like the traditional Thanksgiving foods. So I tell my mom, hey mom, can we do like a crab feed or something like that, like different, right?
Go to Hook and Run.
And no, and she's just like, well, then what would we do with the turkey and what would we do with the ham? And I'm like, well, we wouldn't have we'd take that out of the equation.
Eat
And she
those on
says,
Christmas.
she says, well, what's your dad gonna have with his cranberry sauce? And I'm like, okay, forget the damn turkey. Toss that out the window. Like, let's not do that anymore. And let's have. And she's like, but the turkey sandwiches. I'm like, forget everything you've known, and let's do something different for once in our 30 years. I've not had a different Thanksgiving, and I'm like sitting here like I need to break the chain.
You would
Yeah.
appreciate this because for Christmas every year, my family, they do the traditional stuff, but then my mom always makes seafood fettuccine too. Like it's a
That's
big thing.
delicious.
And it's awesome, and it's like a Christmas tradition, but it's
Wow.
really good.
Seafood Fantasia is hands
No.
down one of my favorite
It's one of your
meals.
favorite meals.
No.
And
Truly-
if you would
truly-
like to tell
that's an East
Carolyn
Coast throwback.
that Anthony would like a little dish, save me a little Ziploc
Just,
container
yeah.
full of that,
Mm.
that I can
Anthony's
eat on my
Fantasia.
Thanksgiving. Would
Yeah,
be nice.
that'd be nice.
Dang,
Yeah.
that's not the trash
This year,
can.
so I'm a big fan
Trash
of
truck.
Thanksgiving
Oh my
food.
God.
I love
I know,
Thanksgiving
I know you
foods.
do. I know.
And so that's the only thing that concerns me with this year going rogue.
Yeah.
Is the fact that Carly said, I don't want to cook anything. I don't even want anything. I want to order pizza. I want to be totally
You're
just.
gonna wind up having cereal for Thanksgiving.
That sounds awesome.
That actually, I'm okay with that.
I'm just saying,
But
little
I will
French
tell
toast
you-
crunch and.
I will tell you though, the
yeah.
things that I do kind of want.
Mashed potatoes.
I do kind of want mashed potatoes, and I do
Ooh.
kind of
Okay.
want stuffing.
Well, they make
Kid-
those
and I
instant
do
mashed
kind of want
potatoes. You can
hot bread.
Okay,
Ah.
do you want to?
Hot
You can
bread.
do the night before Thanksgiving. Go to KFC. They have these $5 mashed potato
That is
bowls.
so
True.
wrong.
That's true.
Get one, put it in the fridge, and the
That
next
is so
morning, put that
wrong.
thing into your microwave and heat that thing up.
Oh,
You
Lord.
got a Thanksgiving meal right
yeah.
in front
See,
of
the
you.
fun part was last year though was the first time I remember Augie actually looked forward to Thanksgiving and just gorged himself on Thanksgiving food,
Yeah.
and he was so happy.
Well, you had to,
He kept taking
you
bites and he
dosed
was just
him.
like-
You were like,
Oh,
we had to toast him.
he was
for
eating
it.
turkey. He's like, it's so good, and then he'd eat the 7-layer Jello
Yeah.
that Carly makes
What?
for Thanksgiving. It's a
Oh,
it's
that
a-
reminds me. I get
it's
a
a
look
Mormon-
forward to ambrosia.
It's a Mormon delicacy.
Yeah.
It's basically what she does is it's a cup of ice cream, cup of vanilla ice cream
Yeah.
mixed with Jello, like a color of Jello.
Yep.
She mixes
not
it all
sure
up
about
so she liquefies the
it
ice
is
cream.
Awesome.
Then she pours it in a pan. Then she puts that pan
Okay.
in the fridge
Yeah.
and freezes it.
Okay.
Then she goes and makes another color,
Yeah.
a different color, and
Okay.
then the Jello sets up, and then she pours another layer.
So
Then-
it's just Jello mixed with ice cream
Yeah.
to make a rainbow.
Make a rainbow, and it's
Yeah.
7 layers, 5 to 7 layers thick.
It looks kind
and
of
then,
parfait-y.
and then
but
it's whipped cream
not.
on top.
Yeah.
Cool whip.
So it is
So-
kind
And there's
of
about
parfait.
100
Cool
calories
whip.
in every bite.
Yeah.
Don't do that, Jane.
It reminds me of that
It's
episode of
pride.
Friends,
Scares
right, where
me.
Joey's eating that 7-layer thing, and there's like meat in the middle, but it's like sweet. it's like a cake with like cheesecake, and he's like, "Oh, is that ground beef in the middle?"
Yeah.
It is.
delicious, Jello.
Yeah. What I
It's a
might
meat
do is
bit-
try and build like a shepherd's pie or something. Is what I might do
Yeah.
to like fix all that.
A chicken pot pie would be another delicious Thanksgiving
Chicken
dish,
pot pie would be
dish
good.
that I think is super underrated.
Yeah.
These
as
are
a,
all
The other thing we thought
very-
about was just going to Cracker Barrel for dinner.
Oh my
mean,
God, yes.
You could.
That's another thing we thought of was just getting in our
Wow.
pajamas
Please.
and we cruise over to Cracker Barrel and have dinner there.
Yeah.
Please.
And allow this cracker to barrel back into the comments where
Something
we've got a
delicious.
few
Whoa,
more
dang.
that
6
have
minutes.
appeared.
Here we
and
go.
We've got to address
Kicking
them now.
out. Whoa, whoas. If you have the iPad Pro, LumaFusion for video editing, it's awesome, and I'm well experienced in Premiere, After Effects, and Final Cut Pro.
Yep.
Hassan says hi from Toronto, Canada. Tyler, Adobe Premiere Rush is a good entry-level editing app.
It is.
Christopher Beard, I'm going to go to my grandparents this weekend for family Thanksgiving dinner. Got my girlfriend's parents on Thanksgiving morning, then my parents in the evening. That's a lot of food.
It's awesome that you're doing Thanksgiving
work.
with your
Way to
significant
commit.
other. Christopher
Bait
Beard.
Addict.
It's great.
Sorry, gang. Had to drop out a bit due to a meeting. Got to leave work a little early to wash the car before the sun goes down. Must be nice. Daylight savings sucks. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving. You too, brother. And thank you for answering my topper question for 121 in advance. Haven't listened to it yet. Blessed 92112. Can I use the IK Foam Pro 2 with O&R?
No, not at all.
Not really, no. Hassan, so you guys think dealing with the big dealerships such as Ford, Toyota, etc. I'm just starting out in the detail business. Try and get your brand going. But yeah, dealerships are nice because it's just constant work.
Yeah.
But you
Keeps you
gotta
busy.
get your speed up to make some money on it.
Study to
Rectangle
teach and
says,
survive in.
I'm Mexican. You should see our Thanksgiving food. We never have traditional Thanksgiving
sounds
food.
I'm going to
Great.
Rectangle's house.
Yeah.
Yeah,
for
that
Thanksgiving.
sounds
I would
fun.
probably enjoy it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Being 8% Mexican, not
Going to your
half
the
Mexican.
homeland.
like I
Yeah.
always
I'm
thought.
0%, but I'd still enjoy it.
Yeah.
So enchiladas, I would love carne asada. I would also love any type of street tacos if we can mix that up. Carnitas, right?
Yep.
Chorizo with eggs.
Empanadas.
Empanadas. Dane loves chimichangas.
Churros.
Yes.
Jimmy, or not Jimmy, but Dane could be a chimichanga.
Dane is
if
a
he wa-
chimichanga. That's Dane's. That's
That's my
Dane's-
spirit animal.
That's Dane's alternate.
It's
That's-
just a fat old
it's-
chimichanga.
That's
It's a
another
she-
alternate name that Dane travels the internet with.
He has a
Chimichanga
shirt
Dane.
that just has a chimichanga on it.
Chimichanga Dane.
The process is called the chimichanga.
Yeah. All right.
Oh my
Wow.
God.
Christopher Beard says, "Blessed, yeah, you can. Word is O&R foams extremely well. Winky face."
No.
Han says that scale truck is not Dane's truck. It has no toilet in it. It must be next day Nate's truck. Haha. Mike Filler,
God.
hope you guys all have a great Thanksgiving, spending time with your family. Tad Scott says, "Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Tad."
Good afternoon, sir.
Wowo said a bunch of horrible things.
Gosh.
Hassan Mustafa says, "Thanks." And Market Blacklight Detailing, Carnuba Detailing had the best podcast at
Ooh.
SEMA, hands down.
That's awesome. That's
yeah,
great.
We did
no,
some
he had a good
great
time.
Interviews with
Zaya, not
yes.
Zaya. Zaya.
Zaya.
Killed it. Zaya, I hope you're
Zaya.
listening to hear me say that. I will never mess that up
Yeah,
again.
Zaya.
Zaya.
So,
So, Bait Addict says, "Oh, forgot to ask, who should I send the email regarding the Ultra Clay Mitt discoloration? Any of us? Dane at theragcompany.com.
Probably Dane.
I-
He'll get back
probably
to
the
you
best
first.
one. He'll get back
If you
to you
never
the
want to get a
fastest.
reply, I'm a great person to write
that
to.
is so
I am the
sad.
worst
That's
with my
just-
emails. out of
Hans
all
Close,
of
and
us.
that's
You won't
Dane's
even
online
try,
handle,
Dane.
Chimichanga Dane.
I get
Wowo's
sucked into my
haggis, neeps, and tatties with whiskey sauce is what you need in your belly for Thanksgiving. Yum. Deletes were because of the autocorrect.
Yeah,
That-
I
that
don't want to
just
know how that
All
turned out.
sounds dirty.
George Spetta says hello. Bait Addict says no go for haggis. George Spota says more raining from San Clemente. So that was the one thing I was bummed we didn't have while we were in Scotland was haggis.
well, what we had,
You had
okay,
some blood
we were
pudding.
at
Sheep's
okay.
stomach and barley. Come
Okay,
on,
we
guys.
were at a Scottish man's house, right,
Yeah.
with a very Scottish family, all from Scotland,
And
right?
what did
and
they
we were
do?
having
we had
bratwurst.
we had burgers.
Burgers and
I had
brats.
an
Burgers and hot
American
dogs.
burger, right? And they're like, "Would you like some more? I believe it's called red sauce." I'm like, "Ketchup?" And I said, "No, I don't want any damn ketchup on my hamburger. I
Oh.
want some good traditional food." And then they say, "Okay, have you ever heard of? It's called a hot dog." And
In
no, we had
fairness,
bratwurst. Brats.
and then I had chips. I had
crisps.
potato crisps.
The
Yeah.
red sauce may be ketchup, but in fairness, the brown sauce, I thought it was going to be like gravy. It was something weird. Like, I don't know what
Yeah,
it was
it is.
exactly.
Barbecue
They-
sauce.
No, it wasn't barbecue sauce either. They called it brown sauce. It came on the breakfast sandwich from the McDonald's we went through. And it
Oh,
was
gross.
the weirdest. I can't
Yeah,
describe.
I just got Egg McMuffins and some hash browns.
Safe bets.
And
Well-
naturally, because I'm in another country, I'm like, what do they have that we don't have? Okay, I'm going to try that.
Yeah,
because
Dane,
that's what I do. I'm
Again,
adventurous.
Dane living
I'll
his
look
life
and
on the
I'll
edge
go.
of a sword.
God.
Fraser says he'll make haggis for us next year, and it's tomato sauce.
No, it's ketchup.
ketchup.
That is
Ketchup.
Yeah, it's for sure ketchup.
Ketchup.
I saw him eat sushi.
With ketchup?
With
Yeah.
ketchup. That's sick.
Oh my God.
We
what?
got Tyler Fielder says, "Have a great Thanksgiving, crew.
Oh.
I'll stop being such a ghost follower. LOL. Get lost in the world of owning a detailing shop with a
Man.
few employees. LOL. That's awesome. Tyler Phillips says, "You guys rock, though."
Have fun,
Thank
Tyler.
you.
Have a happy Thanksgiving,
Thanks,
and
man.
you and your guys.
Um,
Appreciate it.
Rose says, "HP brown sauce. It's king."
HP brown sauce. Harry Potter brown sauce.
Hewlett Packard made a.
Hewlett Packard. Our friends at Hewlett Packard who listen weekly are going to love that. Appreciate
Yep,
it.
they will.
Woes also says it's best not to ask too many questions.
And that's why I'm afraid.
You should
So-
be.
It was
But again, one of the great things to
Yeah.
come out of that trip was not only Woes, but also Iron Brew.
yes.
The official
So,
drink of the
we
Rag
learned
Company
about
podcast.
Rag Company
Thanks
podcast,
to
so.
Scotland.
Oh, Hassan says, yep, HP sauce as well, lol. He loves it.
Hassan knows.
Well, Dane, let's take this thing away.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's officially 5 o'clock here, which means it's time for us to go. But thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the Rag Company Podcast YouTube channel and the Rag Company YouTube channel. And if you haven't already, go check out the wonderful SEMA video that Jimmy made. Go check it out. It's a cinematic 4K. It's fun. It's just like a nice montage kind of thing. You'll enjoy it.
I like it.
And then I'll have the travel vlog coming out next week, so you can look forward to that then. But in the meantime, this is us saying goodbye. So adios.
See ya.
Bye.